Welcome back, everyone. Good evening, good afternoon, and good day to you. Part 7, well, day 7, playing Eternal Strands. And we are kinda 70% through the game. I reckon, I think we are. And also, we finally have a new patch here for the game. They did fix some performance issues, while apparently there was memory leaks. Like remember that our first time getting the capital, and we after playing like 1 and something hours on the same map, we got experienced huge lags. So that was the memory leak. I did pinpoint it correctly, but more importantly, we have more inventory space now. People who just start in the game will have by default more inventory space, which is we had a big problem to begin with at the beginning, and 2 extra slot of a save gear you can whisker back with if you died accidentally, right? With a scry ability, so that's kind of cool. Yesterday I was so pissed off after 1.5 hours grinding on the map, getting all the experience. We had like one part of the map left to investigate, and I just went and jumped, built a bridge with the ice, alright, and I went to get through the another side of the chasm, and fall down in the middle of that bridge. That was inexcusable. Okay, so we have a bunch of dialogues to go through here. We left yesterday without talking to a bunch of people. We're gonna be visiting Asylum is the only place left, so it's a new destination. We don't even know what kind of monster we're gonna be fighting there yet. So we also killed a couple of guys yesterday. We killed the Ice Claw and Glasstail. Glasstail? Not a Glasstail, the worm. So yesterday we perfectly harvested the Slash Worm and the Ice Claw, Highland Ice Claw. So there's only 3 monsters we haven't saw yet, three boss entities. That's like where I take this 70% completion. We have air alarm here. Yeah, unfortunately today was a big, well, yesterday night, today night was a big air alarm, big attack happening on my country. A bunch of energy infrastructure sites were hit. The whole night air alarm and a little bit after. And well, they started this air alarm already at 9 AM here. Anyway, let's talk with people.
I keep thinking about how angry those notes were.
Lucia's?
Yes. The tone was acidic, and she clearly
Sabotage
thought she'd been
thing.
betrayed. Not in the general sense. It was personal. I just wish she'd been more clear about by whom.
So we still don't know. We have some theories what happened, why this cataclysm happened here, but still don't know any real things. Talk.
I am going to be poring through Lucia's notes for years.
Fascinating stuff.
Perhaps not.
Okay, we already heard that one, so. So this guy's not working. We have some documents to compile here. Codex. Let's see, economy and industry. Many of our findings inside the enclave are simply refinements of established knowledge from accounts before the appearance of the whale. The details will be accounted for in separate appendix in our archive, but a summary will be kept here in our main records. The enclave was, or still is, one should say, a locale rich in natural resources. The dangers of the region means potential mines when untapped, and rich wood stands remains unlocked for centuries. In addition to this, the enclave is hosted an abundance of plant life and minerals that are exceptionally rare in other parts of the Maida. No doubts are another result of the heightened magical energies. Coupling the powers Coupling the prowlers of the Weaver Band's points with the durability of the arcs, proven an effective combo in breaking new grounds and reaching into the most dangerous corners of the Enclave. The resources extracted in turns fueled a growing economy in crafters, alchemists, and enchanters, and more. While the Enclave never had the raw capacity for a Sansash industry of the specific expertise of Don Brenning's civil engineers, the access to the rare materials encouraged experts to bring their talents to Dinevron, leading to a quality over quantity approach. As a result, in the decades immediately before the Surge, the Enclave established itself as a major player in the trade, serving as a caravan hub over land with its easy access to the Rechland, Taza, and Udia. Shipping lanes regularly passed through the northern Shield Mountains to the sheltered ports of the Enclave lands, creating a bustling naval trade hub as well. Tying it all together were the loom gates, which could allow rapid movement of exotic goods, messages, or elite passengers from the southern caravan to the northern ports, and those involved were willing to pay equally elite tariffs. No small numbers of the farmers pouring into the Enclave coffers came from no small of the farers, from their role as facilitators of a rapid transit. Okay, yeah, it would be fun if there were farmers involved here. Well, they probably have farmers. I mean, they need agriculture everywhere. So, can we upgrade to next level, level 5? Progress faster. So we can upgrade to level 4 here for my gear. Faster. And we already have maximum level here. So a level 4 for my weapon. Should I? Well, maybe I should. You know what? Maybe I should. We have a bunch of the resources. Bunch of rare resources like this wood. Well, it's a weathered bone. We can make into something here. So upgrade the station, workbench. Can upgrade to level 4. Nice. So level 5. Apparently there is still possibility to upgrade to level 5 here. Talk to her.
Hey, Bryn, keep an eye on Kaz for me, okay?
You're worried about her?
The last time I saw her this strung out was during her point training. I was talking to Sola the other day. It doesn't seem like she's sleeping much.
Okay, Casimon always seems stressed. Ascoriana was different now.
Casman isn't someone I'd describe as easygoing on a normal day. What exactly has you worried?
Some of the things she was asking you for, we just don't need.
Like...
Or at least not in those quantities.
90 dragon scales. I mean, need to find 90 dragons.
90 Ash Peak Drake scales did
There you
seem
go.
like a stretch.
Normally she's more deliberate in her backstocking. This feels irrational.
So, Kashar needs less sleep. Ascoriana is out of the ordinary.
I thought Kashar generally sleep less than the rest of us. Is it really that concerning?
Less sleep. Not none. We all need to rest sometime. When I asked Kasmin about it, she mumbled something about how she'd sleep when everyone was safe. I tried to ask what she meant, but she didn't want to talk about it further.
That is concerning.
I'll keep Oriana in loop. Reassure her it'll be fine.
I'll let you know if I notice anything. Don't worry. I'm sure Casmin will be fine.
You're probably right. Just she seems to open up to you more than the rest of us.
Okay, should ask her about the point, but, well... Damn it. Let's go into some crafting. I'm braiding, or as I say. So craft, we do have a new recipe here. Alright, the recipe for a magic regeneration. They've been Scalfur. Well, I need to think about that. magical regen instead of maximum energy. Alright. Actually, just the set timber, a quest item for flame resonance, which you don't have. Okay, where parts we do have, refined serenite we do have. So what we're wearing right now is, in terms of a breastplate, wearing this one, the maximum magic, luster view, a serenade, ironwood. So it's getting me 19 armor, 23 and 13 hit resistance, weight 14. Alright. And we can craft this this one, magical regeneration. So 10 resources, iron laser plus 10 to everything. Where we got the iron laser from? Okay, slash bear. Okay, we need 6 of this. Flame. So we have frostbane, some more cold resistance, and more fire resistance over here. 10, 1, 1, 5, 6, 6. Edward laser. Like if I go with 5 of 6, carried resources. So 6, 6, 9 plus 1. Iron head crystal. 4. Well, we can get with this one. Two and plus 4. Last view. 2 plus 4. Barbed claws. 1 plus 2 plus 2. Maintain it resource. Again plus 1. 1, 1. 1, 1. We just minus weighted. So, okay, let's just give me plus 1 to everything. So say we just craft this one. Heat cold resistance 50. And we comparing it to whatever we currently have. Alright, by reforging, chicken reforge section. So more armor, hit resistance, better hit resistance. White fire bloom, 20, 23 hit resistance. If I gonna get this over here plus 1 resistance, it's a different kind of materials, so kind of hard to get the resistances we want here. Plus 5, 5 is this. Okay, so upgrade equipment. How much is gonna be upgrading? So plus 2, okay. It's still not really good, resistances wise. Well, we can upgrade it like kind of higher, but
Good balance of protection and mobility.
this is level 2. It's 21, 21. Well, we're getting better the fortunate to upgrade. Upgrade equipment, so we can upgrade the frost shield. I think it's a good time to do this upgrading, right? Upgrading this one even better time. Plus 10 more
I
damage.
think you and I are the only ones here who can swing one of these. Oh,
Alright,
and Sev.
there's a little bit more damage for a bow. Level 2. Let's see. Hidden
Fit
cold
for a
resistant.
point.
So we have a bunch of the cold resistance
Try
over
to
there.
bring this back in one piece.
What else we can upgrade? So this need to be reforged altogether, maximum magic. I think it should. I think we have better materials for this reforge. So we have like what 19 cold resistance and 6 heat. Let's see what else we can craft this with. So more cold resistance, more heat resistance, a lot of heat resistance, but less cold. So just extra cold resistance and extra armor here. Alright. It's even better, but it's glass-tailed fur. So I guess like this one is easier to get. This one gives it to Alka dense fur. They're sold. We can get a Serenite. So more and more. Arbium, of course, resource. 3-3. Well, that's okay. This is even better. Refiner's salt. Serenite. Like, okay, refined Serenite. Alright. Fire sink. Heat resistance. Okay, -4. Minus. Just +4. Okay. 1-1 if I do this one. So silk also 1-1. Got extra hit resistance here. And a card resources. +1 to armor. Nothing here. Just 1 extra cold resistance. Okay, extra cold resistance.
Not as
I guess I
protective,
can
but
do
great
it.
against the elements.
I guess like we can do it. And then we just upgraded it.
Not as protective, but great against the elements.
Can upgrade it in fast
Nice to
level 4.
work on something a little lighter
This
every
one?
once in a while.
This one probably also magic regeneration. Need to be some upgrade. So reforge. Let's see what we can reforge this one with. Treated laser. Well, maybe we can't. The laser look pretty good. Well, what about the iron wood here? -7. Maybe that was pretty good, like decision after all. Okay, I guess this one okay. This one can okay. Okay-ish. Can 4 and 3.
This one strikes a good balance.
And more. So helmet is level 4. The breastplate level 4. Level 4, level 4. So only I think it's not level 4 in my shield. Right. And this we also should be trying to reforge Frostbane laser. So it's okay with the Frostbane laser. The steel, instead of steel we're just gonna go for Serenade. Right. And instead of this one we can go for this one. For this one. Both of them could be okay. Have more iron wood here. And for this one, +1 cold resistance. Just +1 heat resistance. Okay. 1 cold resistance. So obviously better to get those rare resources, but okay, let's go. Reforge. Equip. And then we just upgrade in it. Oh, I don't have Frostbane laser for this. Well, that was a good upgrade. That was a good upgrade. We still should use my two-handed weapon. Alright, for actually fighting, for actually dealing damage, because it's doing the better damage. But this is looking good. So what do you have here? What do you have? Flame, the tail guy, Slash Worm and all of this. We have this new Archon Hearse. Right, we have the new area. And that's where we go in. We have 5 recipe. Luminous, Resonant Field, the Incandescent Arc, the Manifold, Prodigious Expanse. Let's go. A new area.
Where am I? Underground.
That barrier almost looks like
This
a
is the
veil.
no Village destination.
Must be the one Lucia wrote about in her
Mysterious
notes.
panel.
And the panel looks like our scry. Anyone know what it is?
No idea.
I just touch it.
Similar
Mysterious panel
design
bearing
to the
resemblance to
scry,
the scribe.
But it looks like it's a permanent installation. Like it interfaces with the room. Could this be the harness?
Must be. It seems like Asylum involved sealing away whatever's beyond this barrier.
With this discovery and everything else you found, I should be able to piece together what Asylum actually was.
Okay, so can we go over it? Because it doesn't look like possible. Compiler search an Asylum is Laren. Also, like we just visited this area, but we can't do anything about it. As we were saying, I was just pumping myself for a new fight, but we can't. Really? Really? Bullshit. But that did like pass the time, right? Did pass the time. So Codex Companion, Asylum. It is well documented that across the Amida, the search was catastrophic. However, primary documents found within the Bastion are the first to shed light on what those impacts may have been behind the Enclave's veil. The minutes of a war room meeting among the Enclave's highest-ranking military officials dating 1020 indicates that following the search, casualties plateaued for a while before beginning to rise again, sometimes around 1015. 5 years later, at the time of the aforementioned meeting, the casualties rate was high enough that the remaining weavers were in danger of being overcome entirely. The exact cause of these casualties is inconclusive. It is not difficult to hazard the guess that the same natural disaster that ravaged part of the Amida following the search would have played a factor in the Heartsinder's deterioration inside the whale. The point's exploration comprehensively demonstrated that the enclave landscape and the settlements had been torn apart by earthquake, and its extreme weather fluctuations frequently rendered its environments inhospitable. In addition, the danger of wild creatures clearly intensified the longer they were exposed to raw magic in the wake of the search. These varied threats would undoubtedly result in casualties within a long-suffering population. In addition to this, a research paper was found within the military workshop for enchanters, dated in 1010 and titled Observing Arc Degradation. This paper raised another theory, that perhaps the Ark's hostility has contributed to the survivors' rising casualties. Initially, our band has pondered the question of whether the Ark's hostility was an act of defense from the surviving weavers here. This paper proves otherwise. It would appear that there was an expected and a normal amount of the behavior degradation, according to the Enclave's Hands of Defensive Weaving, Cornelia Strad. However, over the course of the following 10 years, the Arcs began turning against their own creators until all has come hostile by 1010. The Trad believes that something sinister was at play. Nothing this was far more than a repair malfunction. To summarize, it is difficult to conclude with a certain which of if any, of these factors are what led to the devastating casualties among the survivors. This is a large part due to mass censorship ordered by the Enclave's highest-ranking officials, the Eye. Thus, most of the records we have found pertaining to the rise in casualties are heavily redacted. However, in a letter to the Bastion's commander, Karl Steinleld expressed concern that details of the crisis were being leaked to a dissenting group of civilians who might aspire to Thrall Asylum. These details allow us to tighten the scope of our search significantly. So what was Asylum? We can say with certainty that Asylum was a defensive measure that was enacted in 1026 as a response to the rise in casualty rate, and that is involved sealing an underground portion of the city behind the magical barrier, not dissimilar to the wall surrounding the Enclave. Given that we still have yet to encounter any Heartsiders, it would be easy to conclude that the surviving population of the Enclave was sealed inside this barrier for safekeeping from the various threats that escalated following their search. It is important to note that there is no solid evidence to confirm this. This could be due to the fact that Asylum was covered military operation, and thus the Enclave took care not to document the location of the safe haven. That would be a reasonable estimation, but it is important to note that this is pure speculation until we find further proof of what Asylum barrier contains. Okay, so let's say.
I know we need to discuss the barrier and its potential ties to the flood. But want to give me a rundown of the research first?
Of course. Years after the surge, there was an inexplicable spike in casualties.
You don't think it's due to the Arks going hostile?
Well, that may be part of it, but we can't be certain due to the information blackout.
But
All
that's
we
exactly
know
what
is
the
that it
documents
nearly
were
wiped
saying.
The Heartsiders out.
Most likely because of Arks going hostile.
What seems to have saved them was Asylum's execution. A defensive measure that involved sealing the underground behind a magical barrier.
Okay guys, and in a moment I need to wash my eyes because it's really hard for me to see right now. Be back in a moment, in a minute. Alright, I'm back. Thank you very much for waiting. This is feeling better. It's feeling quite better. Let's continue.
Almost like the Veil.
Exactly like the Veil.
So the Enclave Query has many secrets. It is the needs for secrecy further.
So the Enclave didn't just hide information from the rest of the Mater, but their own people as well.
Judging from the secrecy and a few of the letters you found, I would guess that high-level officials were paranoid. Clearly, not everyone was in favor of this measure, and some might have wished to thwart it.
People? like Lucia.
And a dissenting group known as the Verdant Minds that she had ties to.
Okay, yeah, we've heard about that.
Though it's entirely unclear what those ties were.
The vegetarians were the Nines. They mention unmanageable casualties. Ask what they mean.
You said the casualties spiked long after the surge. Can you elaborate on what might have caused this?
This is truly the thousand-fairer question. With the information blackout, I can't find a concrete link to the cause across hundreds of pages. Ark hostility could certainly be a factor. Clearly, numerous Weavers were killed by their own defenses. The recorded minutes from other meetings in the war room illustrate a long period of geological instability following the surge as well. Aftershocks and earthquakes and... well, not to mention the outskirts grew more dangerous each year as the creatures were allowed to breed unculled. But these threats seemed to plateau in the early years after the surge. There is no mention of the spike that resurfaced and prompted Asylum.
That's so strange.
It is.
The commander executed Asylum on the Ice Order. Ask what we know about those two.
Khan Stanild gave the orders to execute Asylum. Do we know anything else about him?
Judging from the series of letters between him and the commander, it would seem that, at the time, he was recently elected. And judging from the frequency with which he followed up on the commander's progress with Asylum, this defensive measure was a key pillar in his political platform. He seemed to grow increasingly concerned with his popularity among civilians in the most recent letters.
Ugh, isn't that kind of slimy?
Leveraging a security crisis to consolidate political influence? Yes, it's incredibly slimy and effective.
And the commander? Do we know what happened to him?
It would appear that Asylum was executed successfully, so perhaps he is still alive. But until we find the Hearthsiders, we can't know for sure.
So, still in the underground, I recall the evacuation plan.
It's got to be where the Hearthsiders went, right? Remember, the letter mentioned they were evacuated from the city.
To an undisclosed location. We have no real confirmation that they are down there.
But it would make sense, wouldn't it? After all, asylum can mean shelter or safekeeping.
It can also mean prison. I know everyone
The
wants an
madhouse.
easy answer to where they went, but something just doesn't add up. You would think there would be at least one document linking Asylum to the evacuation of the city, and there simply isn't.
Okay, time to discuss the barrier. Find out if it's causing the floods.
So, back to the barrier. Think it's the one Lucia was trying to take down?
Yes, the very same. She was right, too. It's causing the miasma floods. The raw magic that off-gasses from the Veil is what causes the tangles to cluster at its base. In speaking with Darm, we theorized that this second barrier could potentially be doing the same thing, except in a more pressurized environment, like, say, within a barrier of kinetic magic.
We don't get small pockets of raw magic like tangles. We get floods of it.
Precisely.
So we need to remove Asylum's barrier to stop the flood. Now we really need to talk to the others.
Agreed.
Okay, let's do it. We're just missing one ingredient, right, to craft that device to remove the barrier.
All right. Let's go over everything we know so far.
We know that, for a time after the surge, civilians continued to live in Tenebron until they were forced to evacuate the city. We're still not sure the cause.
Wherever the Hearthsiders went, they're still actively sending scouting groups to scavenge for supplies. From the uniform, the creeper who was watching Bryn sleep belongs to one of these groups.
We also know that a defensive procedure codenamed Asylum sealed access to the Enclave underground. This was done using a barrier almost exactly like the Veil.
Lucia, an ex-High Enchantress, opposed Asylum and began working on ways to sabotage it.
Her research forecasted that the barrier would cause the Enclave to flood with miasma. The very same flood that seems to have killed Lucia before she was able to finish her thimble.
But we have her design. It could disrupt Asylum's barrier.
So Lucia's symbol is the key to our survival.
It's less a key and more like a magical battering ram.
Whatever works.
What is it, Lane?
It's just... I've pored over all the documents we've compiled, and a concrete link between the evacuation plan and the underground is nowhere to be found. I can't shake the feeling we're missing something.
So there was information back out. I wonder if that's why a link missing. So there's nothing I can handle or assure them that I've got this. So they have a point, but I remind them, surviving the flu is our priority indeed.
It is odd that we haven't found a single clear link. The Hearthsiders may not have gone underground. But even so, Lucia's research on the barrier causing the flood is solid. And if we want to live, we need to act on that.
I suppose that's true.
Being a weaver isn't about being certain all the time. It's about taking calculated risks to carve a path forward.
Yeah, risk management.
And regardless of the Hearthsiders' location, disrupting the barrier is the only option to stop the flood.
You're right. I just hope that if we did miss something, it doesn't come back to bite us.
Even if it does, we will handle it.
Indeed, you
That
have me,
settles it.
and my
Really?
sword, and my bow,
It's time to...
and my magic. Okay, so flame resonance. Okay, so we've got the flame resonance. The craft Lucia symbol, and remove the barrier. Okay, well. There we go. Oh, so they just gave me it by itself.
Thank you for your help with that, Bryn. You've a deft hand for flame magic. You can wear Sev's apprentice hat for one day. Also, Lucia knew what she was doing. This thimble was clearly designed to pair seamlessly with Enclave construction.
Must be her experience as a high enchantress at work.
Based on Lucia's notes and what we discovered at the Bastion, this was custom designed to disrupt Asylum's barrier.
If it can stop the flood, we need to use it soon.
Agreed. We don't know how much time we have left.
Okay, we got the custom design. Just to remove the barrier and the Arakan hearse. We don't have like any new dialogues here. Let's save. Are you ready then more than ever? Glasstail, Living Flame, Glasstail, All Miasma. Oh my dude, like all the Miasma. Slash Worm. We do need some materials from the Slash Worm, do we? We do. So again, no idea what they have here. No general knowledge. But let's go. This time for sure. 40 minutes for the dialogues and crafting. Okay. I'll take it.
That console that looks like our scry should be the controls for the barrier.
Sure, do
The
this.
thimble was built to interface with it.
Story
Time to
rich.
disrupt Asylum.
We're not really sure if this is the actual real asylum. Maybe they're keeping some monsters inside here. It's not to keep people protecting, but to keep something in. Wait, what? Well, told you. It was to keep stomping in. Oh my god, chat, what have we done? Like, just going for Loomgate. Oh, what have we done? Well, at least we found the survivors. This is the survivors' fault. If they know that's gonna happen, they should burn me before.
Great timing. I owe you one.
You need to come with me. All of you.
We don't have a choice, do we? Custodian hold, seclusion and safekeeping. Oh, that's the eye. This is the general guy.
We mustn't cause
The eye.
panic.
Look at that bird.
Sure. It's not like we had a dire supplies shortage on our hands before this happened.
What do I tell the High Enchanter? The guild
Spindle.
will want...
Enough. We won't discuss this further. Not in front of our guests. Identify yourselves.
Aurea Harpenay, or Silverbeak, as I'm known among Weaver circles. This is my band, and beside me is our acting point.
Bryn. And you are?
Khan Stuneld, Eye of the Enclave. My colleagues are the
So that the
Spindle
general
and
became the eye.
representatives of
Poultry
the enchanting and crafting guilds.
Indeed, indeed. Welcome tomorrow. Welcome back, mate. We thought we have some action today, but so far 40 minutes of storytelling.
Who sent you?
So the guy was the general, and then he became the eye because of his political acumen, slimy action.
Sent us?
Tarza? Renland? Udea? The Enclave is the envy of the Maida for its magical prowess. Clearly one of those nations has finally grown a spine and decided to take it for themselves in our moment of weakness.
Moment.
No one sent us. We came here by accident.
What kind of fool do you take me for?
The fool who live in isolation for like this 50 years or something.
You expect me to believe that you bypassed our veil, infiltrated our loom gates, and breached asylum without a national power backing you?
Dude, like, the nation are very aware of magic, or as I say, he don't even know that the current political situation. The mages are not a good people among anymore, from majority points of view.
When you put it that way.
This is a misunderstanding. We're weavers, like you. There was a brief opportunity to enter the Enclave for the first time in decades, and we took it. Everything we've done since we arrived has been to uncover what happened here after the Surge, and to find you.
If that is true, have you really no inkling of the trouble you've caused?
No.
Your reckless conduct has unleashed an enemy that nearly destroyed us 27 years ago.
The Surgeborn. They first appeared a little over a decade after the Veil went up.
Where did they come from?
No one knows. But they arrived in the Underworks before making their way to the surface.
Where they left a trail of destruction in their wake and wreaked havoc on the Enclave.
Causing casualties to Rye.
And so I called for a retreat here, saving countless lives. We sealed the Surgeborn in the Underworks for good. Until now.
It's clear we offer sincere apology. We messed that up. They knew we are here. Wonder why the Head Sardis didn't intervene soon. The Surgeborn came out of the Underworks easily enough. Offer to put them back in. I mean, it's not my fault. They knew that we are here and they didn't like communicate with us. And they watched me open this gate of to the hell.
We've been here a little while now. Don't you think all of this could have been avoided if you'd properly said hello?
She's right.
This is hardly our fault.
No, it's not my fault, Isa.
Look, Surgeborn or not, we had no choice but to remove the barrier. Though, I suppose we owe you thanks for warning us about the floods.
Who warned you?
You did.
Did we? I'll deal with you later.
While we can agree Arakim breached no contact protocol, it has proven to be the right decision. The floods were growing worse, and now they have stopped. Even if fixing them has introduced a new problem.
One my band would be more than happy to help you solve.
Ha! Work together.
Sorry to interrupt, but you mentioned your last name earlier. Any relation to Shireen Harpenay?
She was my mother. You know who she is.
Of course! I mean, before my time, obviously. But she's still renowned in the Enchanting Guild. Her work is remarkable. There's a statue of her in Denevron, you know?
Yeah, we saw it.
Oh. I can't believe she didn't mention that.
There is so much I'd love to ask you, but for now, Aurea comes from a long bloodline of outstanding and renowned weavers. Shouldn't that buy her band some grace?
All right. Your presence in the outskirts will be tolerated. Nothing more.
I really like the voice acting here. Like, this is probably the best game this year we're playing in terms of voice acting.
What about the Surgeborn?
What about them?
Shouldn't we work together to deal with them?
We could use the help.
The Surgeborn are a problem for anyone in the outskirts, not us. Cassidon's Hold is a fortress.
The scouts do head into the outskirts to scavenge for supplies.
We'll take our own precautions. Speaking of, we have pressing matters to attend to.
But
Enough! My word is final.
Bryn, the one that led us here is clearly the one that warned us. Try to talk to him before we leave. Maybe he's willing to work with us.
Will do.
Okay. Consult with Arakim. Save. Dude, there's another bird. Look at this. Look at this bird. Oh well, that's not another bird. It's not. Never mind. That's our bird. That's our bird. The spindle. Can't take us her. She's her own laboratory. Plating and furnace. Place from Arcus carefully labeled. For test, presumably. Her side is cry. Well maintained, but clearly often used. Slate board. Published with dust, but clearly of any sin of significance.
I must talk to the
Displayed
farmers.
a credential. I attended at the I University, it seems. Like I was imagining the guy who called himself the Eye will have the at least eye patch, so he had like some kind of cyclop. Reports fabrication tools and a strange skull labeled Tobias. Ham of activity. The voices I can support staff or works on the lower corners of Hold. So goes the guy.
Hey, Arakim, was it?
Oh, just call me Arik.
Well, Arik, I never got a chance to thank you. You know,
He's
for grabbing me before I
a
fell to my death.
demon.
I think you had it. Besides, I couldn't let you plummet into a chasm.
Well, more like a tiefling, right? Tiefling. Well, they don't have a tiefling in this game, but
The eye is pretty.
it's definitely
peeved with
tiefling.
me, but hey, that's just a bonus.
He doesn't seem fond of Karen Standill. Ask about the dynamic.
You and the Eye don't seem to get along very well.
What gave it away? The mutual contempt. The Eye doesn't like anyone who shows initiative or challenges him. Unfortunately, those are my main qualities. And I suspect he perceives them in you, too.
Yeah, I didn't get the impression he's my biggest fan. Will you be in trouble for saving us?
I'd worry if he ever decided to get off his throne and do something about it. But he finds that throne very comfortable.
It almost sounds like he's happy. Wonder if he's pleased about our arrival.
So, are you glad we're here?
I'm thrilled you're here.
I have to say, I'm surprised.
Oh, yeah. Sorry for all that cloak and dagger stuff earlier. Khan Stanild had me on strict orders not to make contact with your Weaver band. But it was the right call. From what I just saw, your presence here is having an impact.
How so?
Notice how the Axle took my side against the Eye earlier. That never happens. And the Spindle is as quiet as a mouse most of the time, but not today.
Uh-huh. So these are big changes.
It might not sound like much, but they're excited you're here. Stanild can tell too. That's why he backed down so easily. And that's why I'm glad you're here.
He doesn't seem angry at us about a Surge Burn being released. Ask why.
So you're not upset that I breached Asylum, like your colleagues?
I've been pushing to do something about the Surgeborn for years now. Setting them free wasn't great, but sealing them in the underworks indefinitely was never a good solution. Frankly, I think Khan Stanild is just annoyed you undid his one claim to fame. I guarantee he has no plans to do anything about the Surgeborn now that they're free.
You don't think he sees them as a threat?
He's got his head in the sand about a lot of things.
So this is a warm response. Find out what he wants to know about me.
You seem awfully trusting of us, considering the terrible first impression we've made.
Well, I was spying on you the first time we met, so let's call it even.
Sure. Maybe you know everything already then, but have you got any questions for me?
Just one. Why are you here?
The world needs an enclave. Tell him I hope to bring down the whale. His people have been through so much since the search. Tell him I want to help. When to find our way back home. Tell him I want to leave. Well, second.
Growing up, I saw the Enclave as a symbol of what Weavers lost after the Surge. After all, we have no home to return to, and we're pariahs in most nations.
A pariah,
But the longer I'm
that's
in
the
here,
word I was looking for.
the more I realize how much your people have lost too, and still stand to lose. I'm here to help, however I can.
That is exactly what I was hoping you'd say. If that's truly what you want, then dealing with the Surgeborn is the first step. Ever since the Veil went up, our people have been in crisis. They've spent so long in it, they're afraid to do what it takes to get out. It doesn't help that some have benefited off that same crisis.
Who?
Who always benefits? The very top. Our leaders are too preoccupied with their own concerns to form a unified front against the Surgeborn.
Such as?
The Spindle is obsessed with getting the Arcs functional again. She believes that will help us regain control. And the Axle is too stressed about our supply shortage right now. But, if their concerns were handled, they could pressure the Eye to finally address the Surgeborn.
That sounds like an opportunity. And are you a representative yourself? Do you have sway?
Representative, yes. Sway? No. I represent the Scouts, meaning I'm at the meetings, but I don't have the title to back me up. The Scouts were once points like you, but our role has changed since the Veil went up. We were effectively drafted into scavenging for food and supplies. It made sense following the Surge, but it's been years. Recently, we've even been separated from Cassidan's hold and the remaining civilians. Anyway, it's the guild leaders who will need to pressure Khan Stanild into dealing with the Surgeborn. That's where my people need your help the most. Then we can start fixing the deeper issues we face.
Sounds like I've got some palms to grease.
Yuck. But yes, I'll come by your camp later. We'll be able to speak more freely there.
Okay.
What is that about?
The Eye isn't one for idle chit-chat. That's worth watching.
Talk to you back at our camp.
You got it.
Seth, you all right?
No. I mean, yes. I'm fine.
You sure?
Bryn, the rest of us are heading out. See you back at camp.
I got to go.
So we can salvage the spindle in the Castadian hold. Loose threads. The Spindle is the leading representative of the Enchanting Guild within Enclave, so in theory, she could leverage her royal influence to pressure the Eye into taking action against Surgeburn. Arik explained that she more concerned with investigating the malfunctioning arcs. So maybe if I offer to help her, she'll warm up to the idea that we could work together to take actions against the Surgeburn. Aurea agreed that this could be a strong collaboration between our band and the Enclave's leadership, so she's going to join me to meet with the Spindle. The Dom is coming because he loves talking about arcs. Interdiction, consult with Axel in a Cascadian Hold. The Axel is the Enclave's leading representative for its famed crafting guilds. Arik mentioned that she could be a useful ally against the Surgeburn, but she's too busy dealing with the hard-cider supply shortage to take action right now. But if I tackle the supply shortage, maybe she'll be willing to work with us on the Surgeburn. Arkim will join me to baroque the alliance. Wood for the tree. Consult with Sola. Sola wants to keep pursuing her investigation of the Tamarkin smithing practices here in the Enclave. I told her I'd be happy to help, so I should probably check with her. Okay. We still have this epic hounds though. So let's just talk with those people. Spindle. Talk. Just talk.
Before Asylum, all the loom gates were reset so that the Surgeborn couldn't use them to continue spreading. How did you reconnect to the city?
We tracked down a key swatch to Denevron. Found it in the mayor's home in Poldervale.
Your band is quite resourceful.
She would have a lot of common with the Dom. Suggest her two of them to speak. She doesn't know the half of it, boast about the band's skill. I'm not sure I can trust the Hardsiders being non-committal. Okay.
Dom loves discussing magical theory. He would be thrilled to speak with the Enclave's leading enchantress.
That is tempting, but the Eye wouldn't be pleased if he caught me speaking to your band any more than I have to. No offense, but I should really get back to work.
Okay. A loose thread.
Excuse me, but Arakim mentioned you're the Spindle, a leading representative for the High Arcanists.
Oh, yes, that's correct.
We wanted to formally introduce ourselves. I'm Aurea, as you know. This is Dom, our enchanter, and Bryn, our acting point.
We didn't catch your name earlier. Khan?
Just call me Isla. Is there something I can help you with?
We'd actually like to help you. Apparently you want to restore the arcs.
Shh! Not so loud. Sorry, that sounds wonderful, but the Eye won't be happy about us collaborating.
There's no harm in working together. I wonder why the Eye wouldn't be upset. Reclaim the Ark would be huge. Tell her the bigger than the Eye political games. She nervous to be seen speaking to us, or assure her. There is no harm working together.
Pooling resources and sharing knowledge is hardly a bad thing. Why would the Eye be upset about us trying to help you?
It's
Complicated, yeah.
Anyway, I do want to fix the arcs. More than anything. I just need you to be quiet about it.
Okay. We'll try, but forgive us if our excitement bubbles over and we forget.
It's Dom. He's the one that might forget.
We know that the arcs began malfunctioning after the surge. A select few were even sabotaged. Any idea on what caused the other malfunctions?
Some theories, but nothing solid. Anyone who knew how to create arcs, let alone fix them, died before I was born. I've tinkered with an inactive arc that's lying near the Grand Gate, but it would make a world of difference if I could study a resonance that was freshly harvested from a great arc's pattern.
Consider it done.
Bryn's got you covered. She has a knack for harvesting great archons.
Okay, so we're gonna go for the Arc harvesting, okay?
You'll have it in no time.
If you're sure, I certainly would appreciate it. With discretion, of course.
Right.
We've been talking a while. You'd better go.
Better go. So how to human grants visibility of each great creature to Arcanus the location. To search for a great arc, check the Illumigate menu before leaving on the expedition. Well, yeah, I don't know about that shit. That's what I was doing before.
It will be a tight season, but we should make it.
Okay, Axel. Talk to her.
All this
Another
wreckage
bird.
scattered throughout the room. Why haven't you guys cleaned it up?
Khan Stanild ordered us not to.
And that's because he wants to keep it messy?
Correct. Speaking frankly, my impression is that he wanted any visitors to feel as if we were still in a major state of crisis. Though visitors are few and far between. Upper government officials only, all of whom are working from offices with roofs. We are the lucky few over here, it seems. What a privilege it is to work in a building that is open to the weather. I understand the motivation of wanting to wait until we'd found everyone a place to live. But we achieved that 20 years ago.
20, okay.
Thousands of survivors rehomed. And yet, I still have to step over puddles to get to my desk.
Well, interesting introduction.
I am simply telling you, as the foremost leader of the Enclave, that I don't want you getting distracted.
Can you clarify what you mean by that?
You know exactly what I mean. Eyes down, know your place. Focus on your own problems.
Know your
Organize
place, you
your
bird.
craftspeople. Keep the wheels of civilized society greased. And don't dare to presume you know better than me.
If you have a problem with my performance, you are welcome to gather feedback from the people who elected me. They may have a clearer understanding of what I bring to the table.
We'll continue this conversation later.
Hirun, Khan Atme. Allow me to formally introduce you to Bryn, the Weaver Band's point.
You're the Axel, right? Arakim says you're a good person to know.
I am. My given name is Harun, as Arakim said, but you may refer to me as Khan Atme. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, despite the circumstances. And I wish they were better circumstances. The new Surgeborn threat requires us to realign our priorities. Some are a little slower on that than others.
If there's anything we can do to move things along, I'm at your disposal.
What about the supply shortage? I've seen her in combat. She's better than any of us.
He didn't show me in combat, he totally lied. He's like, yeah. Or maybe, okay, maybe I actually better than any of them then. That's why they in such a big trouble with all of this flute.
What's her help look like? I'd prefer if she could avoid unleashing another apocalypse on us.
Easy, no challenge. We'll have an amazing quartermaster for his introduction. Supplies, nothing could be easier. We assure her that I'm up to the job. Okay, supplies.
If it's supplies you're after, that's not a problem at all. Point me at 'em. I got strong arms. Great for lifting heavy things.
Incredible grip strength, too.
That's something you value. You may need to do a little more than heavy lifting. There's a silver lining to this Surgeborn situation that we're suddenly in a position to take advantage of.
Count me in.
Right. With the Surgeborn unleashed, we're anticipating casualties and damage to our facilities. However, there's a restricted area in the underworks that we lost access to decades ago when the Eye sealed it. The Institute,
Okay.
an arcane laboratory where the Enclave conducted its enchantment research, among other projects. Inside the Institute lies a significant supply cache. Its contents will be enough to keep us going, for the time being. If the notes the previous Axel left me are accurate, though, there's an additional complication.
Of course.
The Surgeborn secure territory by building structures, akin to insect hives. The Institute is likely overrun with them, and has been for 20-odd years.
So, the Surgeborn are a long-standing threat to the Enclave.
So they kind of like hive mind or something.
I wish I were old enough to remember what it was like to live without the fear of the Surge.
Zergs.
As a child, I sat awake every night worrying about them. They were terrifying. Knowing what I know now, I should have been even more scared.
I'm sorry you went through that. It must have been horrible.
Thank you.
All the more reason to actually do something about the problem, instead of spending our lives cowering behind the walls of our glorious fortress.
You'll hear no disagreement.
It's not really
from
that
me,
glorious.
now that the game board has been upended.
Sounds like I need to clear any Surgeborn hives from the Institute, then.
That'll thin them out enough that my scouts will be able to access the supply cache without much trouble.
Now that Asylum is lifted, we should be able to access the loom gates in the Institute again. I'm going to trust you with this key swatch. It's been gathering dust for over 25 years.
Only the Eye would let such a crucial resource sit there for that long.
Yes. If we're clear on everything, I'll get back to work. My list of obligations grows by the minute. Someone has to keep this goddamn fortress running.
Okay. So got this kiss so you can still talk with her. Or him. I don't know the gender of this.
Have you been the Axel for a long time?
Why do you care?
You seem like someone who
It just sounds like a girl, right?
I'd hate to play a game of Panjal against you.
All right. I'll take that as a compliment. I was elected to this seat 8 years ago. I've done a good enough job to be re-elected.
So is she downplaying how much she loves her role, appropriate her motivations? There was a weird tension between her and I ask about that. I wonder what her daily representatives are. Responsibilities, okay, downplaying.
What made you decide to run for leadership?
My predecessor was incompetent and took bribes. The guild members tolerated it for a time, but eventually enough was enough. The Eye never seemed
There's
to have a problem
nothing
with
bad
them.
with the bribes, is it?
Do you think he's taking bribes?
You really aren't afraid of asking dangerous questions, are you? I personally haven't seen any evidence of his corruption. He believes in his own judgment too much to accept a bribe. It's easier to bribe the lower-level guild members anyway.
Isn't that a bad thing?
The wheels of society must needs be greased. If they do any more than skim a little off the top, I'll come down hard on them. And that's why I've managed to keep my job. Well, part of why, anyway.
Corruption, rampant. There's a weird tension between you and I.
How's your working relationship with the Eye? Is he your superior?
He would like to think so. His seat casts the final vote when the council cannot make a decision.
But his seat has more power than that.
Khan Stanield wields power beyond the traditional bounds of the Eye's seat. But he is our savior. So surely he must know better than any of us. Which is to say, he is technically the highest ranked official in the Enclave. But he hasn't faced an election in decades. In contrast, I have, let's call it, popular support.
Okay, I wonder what her daily responsibilities are.
So, what does an Axel do all day?
It varies. Some of my predecessors have been very hands-on, as befits a representative of the physical trades. That's not my strong suit, though. So I end up with my beak buried in paperwork. Maintaining supply lines, as it turns out, is considered extremely helpful.
So she seems busy. Finish up the and leave her to it. I mean, we just talked for 20 minutes. This seems busy, aren't you?
That all makes sense. Thanks for taking a moment to talk.
Well, there's one more dialogue shot. Just bear with me for one more. And we're done. There's a lot of story regions here. Inspect what I have here.
Need I remind you that your access to Cassidon's hold is restricted?
Oh. I didn't mean to intrude.
You would do well to mind yourself, newcomer, or risk losing the privilege of coming to Cassidon's hold entirely.
But I was just checking, dude. Okay, let's talk with him. Talk.
So, you.
Yes, me.
Me?
The one causing trouble. The one poking into corners. The one who hasn't the good sense to leave well enough alone.
Had you allowed Arakim to reach out to us sooner, this could have been avoided.
Arakim has a proven record of poor judgment on matters of protocol. I will not be lectured by the person who put us all at risk on how best to handle our security. But I'm being impolite. Let us start afresh, shall we? Please, share what you hope to accomplish by loitering around the hold.
Yeah, the loss of knowledge is concerning. Tell him I hope to preserve what I can. The storage burn must be dealt with. Tell him I'm here to stop them. There's obvious supply issue. Tell him I want to help. Loss of knowledge. A supply issue.
Before we met, it was clear from my exploration of Denevron that you have sourcing issues. Your lack of production capacity was obvious. We can help with your shortages.
A caravan of 7 is going to supply a fortress of thousands. What's next? You'll turn water into Sansa mead? Though you are correct. Sourcing has been a consistent problem since even before we abandoned the capital. We have hundreds of trained scouts, but wooden swords and paper shields are hardly going to mount an offensive. So despite certain assertions that we must do something, we lack the tools with which to make any great strides.
Like it or not, I'm here to help.
The Enclave stands on a blade's edge. Stretch our resources too thin on risky ventures and we face collapse. Certain elements of our population call for action, for bold purpose. And I ask you...
And they need a bold leader.
Bolder than survival.
Well...
Purely rhetorical. We must survive, and we must make considered, careful moves if we are to do so. There is no sacrifice too great towards that goal. You, at least, understand the precarity of our situation. Now understand the necessity of our caution.
I do, but...
Thank you for your time. You may go.
But...
You may go.
But... Okay, chat, we may go, finally. 1 hour, 15 minutes, well, 10 minutes, technically. For a story-rich content today. Like, really story-rich content. We should save here. Because I did mention at the very beginning when starting playing the game that it's looking story-rich. And it is. So lose threat, harvest the great arc for a fresh arc resonance. Interdiction. So destroy the storage burn hives near the expansion cavern 36 in the Institute. Okay. Consult with Sola. Oh, so we're not done yet, apparently. The Institute. The heart of the innovation known as the Institute is now accessible with the Loom Gate. So apparently we need to go back to this one. The Archon Hearse. Alright, and the Institute. Don't know about this one yet. So Ashpik Drake. The Highland Ice Claw. Do we just go and bang the bird? Strike an Earth. Stage Worm. So apparently, okay, chat. Let's say that we're done with talking, but we're not. We have more talking in my own camp here. Look at them, a lot of quests. How is the great? Okay, what do we have here? Burning Curiosity, talk.
So, Aurea, what do you make of the Enclave Council?
Their living history. What they've seen, what knowledge they must have preserved. All this time, they've been here, holding down the fort. It's great you've offered to help
holding down a
Axel
fort
and the
here
Spindle.
24/7.
Just be careful you're not going over the eye's head.
So I'm trying not to step into his toes, but point out that someone should help. I'm calling it. Tell her the eye doesn't seem trustworthy. Not my intention. Assure her, be careful.
I get it. I'll watch out. We're here to work together, not make enemies.
That's good to hear. He's led the Enclave during a crisis. The rules change. He knows more about the Surge, the Enclave, and arguably even magic. Because while we've been outcasts, he's been here, at the heart of our culture. It's something we need to respect.
I'll try.
Good.
We're definitely not gonna be burning curiosity. Okay, okay.
Hey, you alright?
Yes. There's something I should have told you, so I'll just come out and say it. I was born in the Enclave.
How is that possible?
Oh, luck or tragedy, depending on your perspective.
Well, she's that old. She's at least like, yeah, okay.
Before I was born, my mother and
25.
father lived here happily for several years. But they decided it would be better if my mother raised me with my grandmother and great aunts for the first few months of my life. So she left with me when I was just a hatchling, with every intention to return.
But the surge happened.
The life I should have had was lost for good. Because of all this, I never knew my father. I don't even know his name.
Bruce attend have close-knit families. Ask about your mother's decision to leave.
Is it common for Oberon hatchlings to be raised apart from their fathers?
No, but it is common for extended family to be involved in the raising of children. As you know, I come from a long line of weavers, many of whom traveled in caravans their entire lives. It was apparently quite a shock when my mother fell for a Hearthsider.
I mean, we're gonna be learning about the bird culture now.
So your parents were looking for a compromise when it came to raising you?
Exactly. And I wouldn't trade my childhood on the road. My great-aunts and my grandmother made me who I am, after all.
Still, you missed out on your father. It's natural to wonder about him.
I suppose.
So it's odd that Oria wasn't told about his father's name. Dig deeper.
Isn't it a little strange your mother never told you his name?
She was separated from him so suddenly. She had no chance to say goodbye. My mother's a strong woman, but whenever I asked about him as a child, she could only manage a few words before her face would crumble. She found it too painful to discuss, and I never wanted to pry.
But now?
I can't help but wish I knew who he was.
The Enclave's always been a significant to Oria. I wonder if she's because of her family.
Does your family have something to do with your attachment to the Enclave?
Being here has meant a lot in some ways, and in others, it's very different from what I expected. Meeting the Hearthsiders was a lifelong dream, but the circumstances of our encounter, not what I'd envisioned.
Knowing now that this is your birthplace, I can see why that would be disheartening.
This was meant to be my home, after all.
So this news is a lot to take in. Ask why she didn't tell him sooner.
This is definitely a twist. I feel like you could have told me sooner.
I am sorry for that. You need to be able to trust me.
So why hide it?
Talking about difficult and private matters is not my strong suit. And frankly, I rarely see the point in dwelling on the past.
I guess you and your mother have that in common.
You might be right.
So I imagine she must be curious about her father's identity. Offer to help.
So, we're going to find out who your father was.
You would help me?
Of course. Maybe Lane would have some ideas on where to start.
Actually, I had an idea myself. The spindle mentioned a statue of my mother. It's clear the Enclave commemorated their champions. I can't shake this feeling my father is among them.
So we saw the statue somewhere. Was it the lower Denirion? I think it was the lower part of the city.
You think there's
Somewhere.
a statue of your father?
I know it sounds strange, but the handful of times that my mother spoke of him, she described him as this great hero. Since she was one herself, is it so crazy to think she might have meant that literally?
Maybe not. I can scope out the statues in Upper Denevron
Okay,
for
Upper
a
Denevron,
resemblance,
okay.
if that's
Sure.
what you want.
Good. And thank you.
So that's all for it was her talk. Okay, not all. Burning Desire.
Oria, I'm curious. Why the sudden interest in finding out more about your father?
He was trapped in the Enclave my entire life. This is the first chance I actually have to find out who he was.
Right.
I
But
mean,
I
yeah.
guess what I mean
Stupid question.
is, you really never tried to find out more from your mother.
I always had this sense that it wasn't something she could discuss. There was a heaviness in the air when his name came up. She was in love with him. And then she lost him in this cataclysmic event that no one could have predicted.
So then his daughter didn't have like a chance to know her father when her mother was still alive. That's also kind of stupid.
That must have been unimaginably painful.
I mean, but it's the same thing for a daughter that want to know his father, but she just couldn't even ask.
Yes. She wasn't a tragic figure, though. She carried it well. You'd never know she was in pain. And truthfully, I had such a good life with my mother and my grandmother. It wasn't like I felt he was missing.
Until now.
Until we arrived here, yes. Something about this place just makes it clear how much I've lost because of the surge.
Being here makes me wonder. If the surge hadn't happened, would I have been forced to leave home to become a weaver?
Most certainly not. You would have been a valued member of society, not an outcast. Did you have a good relationship with your mother?
Accept her for our differences. Speak of her fondly. I love her, but explain that we didn't see eye to eye often. I have so much respect for her. Worry I let her down. Well, we have our differences, right?
I probably take more after my dad.
We heard about her
for
story
sure.
altogether.
But I love her all the same.
How she left the home because her mom was like kind of politician, and she helped the band of weavers.
She gave you a good life.
And weavers are scorned off.
Oh, the best. It was hard to leave it behind.
My mother and I had our ups and downs throughout my life too. As daughters get older, we understand our mothers better.
That's true for any kids.
Any chance our mothers understand us better with age too?
She'll come around to the weaving, if that's what you're worried about. She loves you after all.
She does. I know that much.
Okay. So this is the quest for, okay, it's a new quest, companion quest, the Burning Curiosity. Examines the stench of heroic weavers in the Upper Denarian. So consult Sola. There's still more quests, chat. Cousin. Drovnin. Or Drovnin, okay, Drovnin. She want to talk to.
The Hearthsiders look more traumatized than a beast of burden after a hurricane.
What? Why would you say that?
I would think someone who grew up in the wake of war would recognize the signs. Disorganized and unable to triage their own problems. They're overwhelmed, suspicious of us despite our clear good intentions, suggesting paranoia.
Dude, she also seems paranoid.
And while their leader is in deep denial of the very real crisis the Enclave is in, the others accept it. They've been stewing in turmoil for so long, it's become their new normal. And it's probably more comfortable for them than the prospect of change.
You're right. They do remind me of some veterans back in Carnarvon.
Saw it 1,000 times over while working in Udea. Aurea may not want to hear it, but these people are completely lost in their crisis.
I spoke to Aurea earlier. She certainly does want to give the Eye the benefit of the doubt. I'm not so sure it's warranted.
Aurea has a case of hero worship when it comes to the Enclave. She can be blinded by it sometimes.
Huh.
It's not to say great things didn't happen here. But at the end of the day, the Hearthsiders aren't gods.
Indeed.
They're fallible. Just like us.
They're fools. So, Drovnin.
Bryn, I'm glad you're here. I need to talk to you.
What's going on? You look pretty tired.
Yeah, I'm fine. It's just... about those 90 Drake scales. I know Aurea said we don't need them, but...
If we do. Dude, like, imagine we need to go and kill 90 drakes. After all.
She just doesn't understand. It's dangerous out here, you know? Especially now that these Surgeborn are loose. We need to be prepared for anything. It's just gnawing in the back of my head. Do you think you could do it?
Okay. She still hasn't said what the Drake scales, so I'll ask her again.
You haven't told me why we need them. Or better yet, why we need 90.
We want the best gear and weapons, don't we?
So Sola asked for these?
Not exactly. They have other uses too.
She ignores what I said about her looking tired. I wonder if she's slept recently.
Seriously, when's the last time you slept?
Kashar don't need as much sleep as Ashar or Casil.
But you need some sleep.
It's been a while. Maybe 10 days. Or a week. I'm fine.
Okay, he's definitely not fine. I guess Aurea doesn't know about the request. Ask why she needed to go behind her back.
I'm guessing Aurea doesn't know you want me to go drake hunting. Do you really think it's a good idea for us to go behind her back?
It looks bad, but she just doesn't see what I'm seeing.
To be honest, I'm not sure I see it either.
Please, just trust me.
I can't, I mean, I need to fight 90 drakes. Do you even have the 90 drakes in this area overall? How many days is it gonna take? Fool. I want to help, but fire drakes scales are the answer. And tell her this isn't making sense.
Kaz, you need to tell me what's really going on here. I want to help, but the drake scales? The Weaver Band is okay. More than okay. We're in the best shape we've been in since we entered the Enclave, now that we've made contact with the Heartsiders. Besides, the caravan is looking pretty full. It's not making sense.
You think I'm insane?
No, of course not.
It sounds like insane.
Era's breath. I shouldn't have brought this up. But you just don't understand. Everyone could die if I don't... It would be my fault.
But I mean, sending me to fight 90 drakes, on which I'm gonna probably die, that's also gonna be your fault.
Whatever this is, please just tell me what's going on.
No. I shouldn't have burdened you. Sorry, just go.
But Kaz...
I can't talk about this anymore.
Casmin is not okay. And I don't think bringing her more stuff is the answer.
Okay, so like, drone in. The Casmin approaches me about the drake scales again, but this time she seems desperate. I have this weird feeling that I shouldn't get them for her. Maybe it's because all the stuff I was fighting for her earlier only seems to make her more anxious. Something's really wrong here. I need to talk to Aurea about this. Okay, well, she's also want to talk again with me. Let's see about the upgrade station.
Kaz, you know you can talk to us about what's going on, right?
Nothing's going on. I'm fine, I promise.
Fine, fine.
You don't seem fine, though.
It's just... No one seems to understand how important the Ashpeak Drake skills are, and bad things are going to happen if we don't... You know what? I just can't talk about this right now. I'm sorry.
So about upgrade station, well, apparently we can't unlock to level 4. Level 5, as I say. And we got all the level 4 right now. So talk to Aurea about her problem.
Hey, Aurea. About Casmin.
I know. I'm worried too. So is the rest of the band. Let's talk at the archive, privately. I'll join you and Lane in a moment.
All right.
Okay. But we have more quests here, chat. Okay, Lane. That's one. A companion codex. The University. The Enclave leverage isn't its considerable wealth and influence to become a premier destination in many ways, but the University was one notable weak point, falling far behind most of the rest of the mightiest institution in prestige. From research and contemporary sources, it is clear that the university was strapped for funding. Several accounts mentioned final fiscal resources being redirected in favor of bringing new specialists into the Guild of Enchantress. We are also in possession of several petitions to move the university properly into Denevron, all denied, citing concern over available space and rowdy students spoiling the peace. While the University allowed the study in a reasonable breadth of subjects, it clearly suffered from the lack of interest, pride, and funding. For comparison, the Collegium of Varentia, even after Udia's crisis, would put the enclaves to shame. And to set aside my personal biases, I would make similar claims of Academia Rollis in Taza, Sansa's Scholars Imperium, or even the High Seminary of Raincland in Dancast. Through the latter's approved fields of study are obviously more limited than others. Cassidian's Hold. That's where we've been met the Eye and her gang. Formerly acting as the Enclave's northernmost military outpost, Cassidian Halls now hosts the remnants of the population and the government. At first glance, one might not suspect this windswept citadel to be the last bastion of the Enclave, but with a quick analysis revealing easy defensible approaches and enough arable land to feed a small population, it is clearly why it was chosen. At the heart of the hold is the Chamber of Ira, a former legal library repurposed as the Enclave's seat of power. It is in this room that Enclave's elected leaders hold office, and where we found ourselves being lectured by the aforementioned leaders after undoing the Asylum project. Time shall tell whether forgiveness is on the cards for us. In the meantime, I do find myself wondering why they have let the ceiling open to the sky all those years. Okay, she want to talk again?
Bryn, I have to say, I'm a little concerned about you.
Me?
Me? Why's that?
I don't think you know what you're getting yourself into with the Enclave Council. You're not just helping them, you're diving headfirst into their political affairs.
Lane, if I can fight an Archon 10 times my size, I can handle a little bureaucracy.
Easy.
That's exactly my point. I was raised in the midst of political schemes and intrigue. There's always something unsaid or underhanded at play beneath the surface. Just be careful. That's all.
More talk?
You won't find Oria's father running amid statues, you know. What do you mean?
You know what's most likely to get in the way of tracking down one's lineage? Family. A scholar wants to trace a family line to find connections between key historical figures? No problem. A living relative wants to find their great-grandfather using some oh-so-precious family heirloom? What a headache.
Why?
A scholar is objective. They have no emotional attachment to the family line, no sense of self wrapped up in the results of their study.
And you're saying Oria does?
I'm saying she needs to expand her search beyond Weaver heroes. She's not searching for family there, she's seeking identity. And without objectivity, her search will turn up nothing.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Wonder if it could be because during Oria's search. Family isn't always what defines us. Tell him, is it possible Oria is only looking for answers? That seems cold. Tell Dean emotional attachments aren't a bad thing. Okay,
I mean, it's her father. Of course she's emotionally attached. How could anyone expect otherwise?
No one could, of course. All I'm saying is, don't be surprised if there is more to this than what Oria's letting on.
I'll keep that in mind.
Food for thought.
okay. More talks? Oh my god, but I still have a quest there. So I was like complaining that we have 1 hour of dialogues, but it's going into 2 hours apparently today.
One of the greatest tragedies of the Surge is the loss of stories. The Enclave might not be that old, but with so many dead to the Surgeborn, their memories most certainly died with them.
I can understand that.
Oh?
My parents' generation tend to stay quiet around the fire. Whatever stories Khanhanders had were beaten out of us by public lashings and prison camps. And we haven't had time since independence to start telling new ones.
Ah, yes. Bryn of Carnhaven. I almost forgot.
Yeah.
Wait,
Read about the
like what
Calhaven
Dark
history.
called me? You were listening?
I always am. Habit-born of a Udean upbringing, I suppose. But, yes. I suppose the similarities are there, aren't they? A population whittled down by catastrophe. Stories lost. Did you ever have the urge to press a little harder? To try and learn just 1 or 2 stories? Even if it was painful for the person telling them?
Living new stories is what my priorities lies. Tell alone I prefer to look forward. I read not pushing harder. Talk about the quiet moments.
I would have liked to. It was hard, though. I learned more about our folklore through silence than through words. I was born after the fighting ended, but we still hadn't fully rebuilt by the time I left home. I found a couple of skeletons, as a kid, out on the steppe. People who'd died fighting the war. exposed by the wind and the rain. There's a story behind those bones that will never be told.
I can only imagine how hard it must be to adapt to the new normal of no longer being under an empire's yoke. Even more so when you fought so hard to gain that independence. If we ever travel back to Carnhaven, I'll try and record some stories, with your help, if you'd like. Sorry, is that too presumptuous of me?
No, of course not. You never know where the Weaver life might take us.
It's a date, then.
Wait, what, Nani? What? It's got a romantic all of a sudden? What I miss? What I miss? Dromnin. Let's go. West.
It's safe to say Casmin hasn't been acting like herself. She's always been tightly wound, but this is something else.
Bryn, she seems more open with you than most. Can you describe in detail what's abnormal about her behavior?
She's begging me for more supplies, even though the caravan is chock full.
Not that we could tell, because she's covered it up.
More than that, she just seems distressed.
Maybe
She's
someone
always
stole
talking about
supplies.
worst case scenarios, and lately it's like she's convinced we're all going to die.
I have heard rumors of abnormal behavior developing in Kashar that could be linked to this.
What kind of rumors?
In polytheistic beliefs that are pervasive in the southern part of the Maida, there is an affliction known as Ira's Plague. The sufferer is haunted by twisted visions of death and pain. The goddess of justice, Ira, won't allow the sufferer inner peace until they repent through scrupulosity.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, well, goddess of justice. I heard about another era goddess of time and space. Scrupulosity. Ask learn about definition.
Scrupulosity. What is that exactly?
Oh, my apologies. I forget most people don't follow UD in eschatological study. Scrupulosity can be best described as a series of repetitive acts that one is compelled to do. For example, if Casmin is plagued by relentless images of our band dying from exposure,
she might send our point out over and over again to retrieve supplies.
Yes, in order to dispel the horrific visions.
So then it's pretty logical. Ask if they suggested Casmin's curse.
Are you seriously suggesting Casmin is... what? Possessed?
I mean, demons everywhere.
Of course not. I'm confident that this is merely a stigmatized phenomenon that could not be explained through facts or science. So the populace explained it through religious folly instead.
Any ideas what facts could explain it?
I like this the combination of words. A religious folly. A religious folly. Is it all about any religious?
Not yet.
Religion. I didn't know that Casimir was religious. Wonder if that's why she's hiding things from us.
I didn't realize Casmin was spiritual. Is she really trying to hide these visions from us?
Though not devout herself, Casmin grew up with a strict Ashar mother.
You're right, she did.
It's possible Casmin's affliction was a point of shame or contention between them. Perhaps she fears rejection if she shares her experience with us.
So Learn mentioned the rumors about the Kasharan earlier. Ask them to elaborate.
Kashar. What does Ira's plague have to do with them?
While most see Kashar as a celebrated merging of the two cultures, some fringe sects disagree. They believe the wider lineage simply leads to more ancestral sin that must be atoned, and thus only Kashar can be afflicted.
Really? Where do you land?
The concept of impure lineage is clearly hogwash, but I suspect the affliction could somehow correlate to the Kashar's unique physiology.
Okay, so affliction or not, we need to help Cass. Move to the next steps.
All right. Casmin is suffering. We need to do something about it.
And preemptively? No exorcisms?
Burn the witch? I mean, the...
As I said, this is likely nothing more than a condition that has been stigmatized by religion.
We had yesterday in a previous session. It was yesterday, right? Also talk about some religious stuff here in the game when the punishment for for kids was throwing them in a river. I mean, like in that, I think this is also Kashuran religion, right? Like just normal punishment, throw them in the river. Cause that's what they do to punish the kids. Like the world building here, like I say, it's pretty amazing, pretty good for the game that came out of nowhere. So like, I really wonder if it's actually there were some books or other stories behind this world. Alright, it was built on some books, or maybe tabletop even or something. I wonder about that.
A scientific explanation must exist, and thankfully, we are in the heart of progressive thinking.
You think the Enclave could have done research on this?
Makes sense. Where should I start looking?
The steps in the upper city is where I'd start.
Okay.
Between the main building of the spire and
We
the
do have
atrium used to
another
stand a
quest
school
in
for
Upper City.
alchemists. From your explorations, the surge hit that area pretty hard, but some of the building may still be standing.
Great. What am I looking for?
Maybe the name of someone who suffered like Casmin, or a healer who treated the condition. If you find someone like that, you'll want to search the areas of the city where they spent time. Ira's plague is wildly misunderstood across the Maida. If we could find a treatment, it could help more than Casmin.
You're right. I'll start with the steps, then expand my search.
Okay. Does she have any more talks? Well, we got with her, but we have a lot more dialogue shot. A few more. Bear with me here. For another
Might
20
sound
minutes,
callous,
maybe.
but I'm a little disappointed in the Hearthsiders.
They're in worse shape than any of us expected.
They've done so little to repair the wonders that surround them. How can a society once renowned for its genius become so far removed from their own innovations?
Like I'm on all this like voice acting in this game. I like this dumb guy probably the most. And it's I can't point myself where because I'm super bad when it's come to any like audio memory. All right, remembering music, any sounds or anything. I'm so bad at it. So I can't point where I heard his voice acting, but I definitely heard him in some other games, or maybe not even in games. Maybe this was like back in when I was watching anime, when it was like English dubbed.
It makes me question if they were ever as great as we all believe they were, or if it was just...
Some myth to keep Weavers going after the surge.
Exactly. Something for us to believe in, whether or not it was true.
So the truth is probably complicated. Tell him you don't think it's a matter of a fact of restriction. This doesn't mean that the promise of the Enclave isn't real. Tell him you have a hope. He has a point. Tell him you're having doubts too. Doesn't mean okay.
The Hearthsiders are in shambles. But who wouldn't be after what they've been through? I still believe in the dream of the Enclave. If it takes us to restore it, I'm up for that challenge.
You're right. If it really was that at one time, it can become that again. I'm just not sure what to think anymore.
Okay, so we're done with his talk. We have 2 more persons to go. Well, 3 more persons. Let's have normal talks here. This guy is like super slow,
So,
however.
What were you speaking to the Eye about?
Nothing. I don't want to talk about it.
I mean, his voice, like every voice acting here was brilliant, pretty good. But this guy as a character is pretty slow, so it's hard for him to hard for me to listen to him. When I already can read his dialogue like twice or thrice before he can actually voice it.
I didn't mean to pry. I just wanted to make sure you're okay.
You want to know if I'm okay?
Yes?
Then how come no one is at all concerned with the fact we can't leave? This isn't my life. Traveling with a Weaver band was supposed to be temporary. For me, at least. There are things I should get back to in Taza. And it's increasingly clear no one has any idea when I will. If ever. So no. I'm not okay.
I'm so sorry. I had no idea you were feeling this way. You're right.
Yeah, this guy is probably the most useless. He doesn't even have any role in the caravan. Like, you know, we have enchanters, we have the blacksmiths, we have quartermasters, we have the point, which is VR, and we have the guy who watching the point, which Oria is, the caravan leader as well. This guy, what is his role? Nuisance.
I am?
The truth is, we don't know how or when we're getting out of here. But if you want to leave, we should have made that more of a priority. Or at least made you feel more heard.
My priority is here to finish the dialogue, at least in this stream.
So we'll work on it. Promise.
I mean, okay, so it might be feeling like I'm complaining here, but I really enjoy the story here. The gameplay is good. I was just pumping myself up for a gameplay today, for slaying new monsters, but again, I pretty much enjoy dialogues here in the story as well. It is a story-rich game. At some point, you see like this stuff happens, and I mean, we just read through the whole visual novel before this, right? The Citizen Sleeper 2 just took us what quite a bit of hours of reading.
Really? What's the catch?
No catch. Apprentice or full-time weaver. What's important to you is important to all of us.
I don't know what to say. But thanks.
Okay. So she has a quest. A wood for the trees. Okay, right, there we go. And more talks as well.
That wasn't exactly the warmest welcome. I'm guessing the Enclave Council isn't your biggest fan right now.
I will them over. Tell her you're confident that they'll come round. I've got a charisma, both that you can bounce back from at this rocky start. They've used us as a problem, share your concern with her. Yeah, I got a charisma shot.
What's not to like? So I let some nasty creatures loose. There's no bad impression my charms can't overcome.
And if they fail you now, there's a first for everything.
Then I'll roundhouse kick those Surgeborn back to the underworks.
Indeed, like, there is nothing that can be solved with violence.
Whatever the Council thinks of you, I'm glad you're trying to help them. I think they could really use it.
Yeah. They don't seem to be in great shape.
Nothing our daring point can't fix.
So the woods for the trees.
And then, Sev and I realized we might be able to repurpose the carapace for more than just loom gates.
Uh-huh.
Purely theoretical right now,
She's
but
not
I'm
very
contemplating
interested,
handle-resistant
looking at her
gear,
face.
or even a protective layer around the caravan.
Dom, I'm a little busy trying to look over these Tarmakine schematics again. Do you mind coming back later?
Oh, okay. You're right. We can discuss theoretical magic anytime. I'll leave you to your work.
Oh. Hey, Bryn.
Everything all right? Things between you and Dom seem off lately.
Yeah, they just didn't hold, you know, that it's like a relationship crisis.
Yeah, a bit. I'm not sure he understands what my work on the Tarmakine smithing techniques means to me.
It's like, you know, I heard it, this research a while ago about a lot of couples, alright, have this relationship crisis in a point in when they're going for the first, like, travel together, alright, when they change in they place they usually stay in and interacting comfortably with each other, going for a vacation, for example, alright, and spending a couple of days, or maybe like going to the parents, spending a couple of days there, and have this relationship trouble. Not if I had myself any of that. We've been pretty good on with my sweetheart back in the days. Nothing happened like that, but I heard that there was this even special research back in the day. Some of those younger and more like invested in relationships. Anyway, this is what happened with them. They just change their usual place of hanging around each other. New excitement and new part of their personality got exposed. Just pure speculation here.
Have you told him how you're feeling?
It feels like he's so wrapped up in his own discoveries that he's not hearing me.
He is easily distracted, but maybe you should try again. If there's one thing I know about Dom, it's that he loves you. He must care about your feelings.
Then why isn't he asking about them? Sorry, this isn't on you. I'm just frustrated. I need to do more than just tell him what Tarmakind means to me.
How so?
I need to show him. By investigating Tarmakind practices, maybe I can make some headway on restoring these techniques. Then he'll understand.
Hey, I'm always down to investigate lost knowledge. Especially in the name of love.
You'll help me?
Of course.
Amazing. I'll ask the Axel if she knows anything about Tarmakind smithing in the Enclave.
Great idea. I'll meet you at Cassidon's Hold.
Okay, so I need to go to travel to Cassidon Halls for her. So harvest. Okay. Well, about the trees, right? The wood for the trees. Consult the excellent Cassidon Halls. And last dialogue.
Making yourself at home?
Yes. I've always wanted my own ruined fountain. I don't want to presume, but being here is a nice break from all the politics.
And the eye is okay with that?
I convinced him I would be keeping an eye on you. Frankly, I think he's just glad to be rid of me. I ask the kind of questions that make him uncomfortable. You know, tough ones like, how? And why exactly?
Lucky for you, Aurea loves when people ask those questions. Welcome to the camp, Eric. We're glad to have you, and your insight on the Hearthsiders.
You still call us that?
Yeah, but it's more bitter these days. Surge and all. Maybe together we can fix that.
Let's.
So he has a new quest for me, Infestation.
How are you settling in, Eric? Things going well?
Good. Yeah, they're fine.
Just good?
No, not really. Something's going on at the Hold, and it's making the hairs on the back of my neck stand up. The Eye publicly scorched you for opening up Asylum, and yet I've heard him telling the Spindle that this could be a good thing. Meanwhile, the runners are stretched paper thin keeping supplies moving, which, of course, leaves my people no time to deal with actual threats.
Sounds like you could use some help. What's the problem?
Really? Dancing winds, where to start? No, wait, I know. The Spitfires. A particularly aggressive group seems set on spreading through Denevron. In particular, they're building nests in some areas I was hoping to use as training grounds, but we had to pull out due to the risk.
So is it ants?
Would the areas be safe if I took care of the nests?
Yes, though the nests are very durable. They will turn brittle if you get them cold enough.
Okay. That's like how we tried to handle previous nests.
Consider it done. Anything else?
Maybe an odd request. Could you ask Aurea if I could power the scry while you're tackling them?
Why not ask her yourself?
I feel like I have a lot to learn from Aurea and how she works with you. And it's strangely intimidating to admit that to her directly.
She is a force of nature. I get it. I'll ask.
Well, like, do we just gonna let him? You know, the operator of the scry, that's the person responsible to get me out of the danger when I'm about to die. We just give him the.
Talk to Aurea for me.
Okay, we didn't talk to her
It's
yet.
genuinely exciting to learn from someone new for once. Our community's pretty insular.
Okay. That's about all.
When's the last time anyone saw her sleep?
It's been weeks.
Is that...
I said it was the last dialogue, but they're still here.
Hi, Aurea.
That's what
I'm
he asked
here
me.
on behalf of Arakim.
That's weirdly formal. Everything all right?
He finds you intimidating. Personally, I don't see it, but I thought I'd be extra polite for his sake.
He does. Good. What does he want?
He's wondering if he could power the scry while I run an errand for him. He's hoping you'll give him tips.
Happily. But feel free to tell him I was a bit scary, to keep him on his toes.
Do I talk with him again? Apparently we do, yeah.
Good news.
Should play this straight. Tell him Aurea was happy to do it. I would guess he'll love the challenge. Play up scary Aurea.
It was tough going, but I managed to convince Madame Silverbeak to take you under her wing.
Madame Silverbeak. Wins. I'll wear my good socks. I've coordinated lots of operations from Cassidon's hold, but I never had much formal training. More self-taught. A chance to learn from someone with decades of experience is an incredible opportunity.
I mean, he probably also have some kind of years behind his back.
You then, when you get close to the nests. They're in the Bastion's yard and Envoy's Landing in Upper Denevran.
Okay, so it's just 3 quests in Upper Denevran for me to check. Alright. So no more talks with him, no more talks with anyone. Told you just only took 2 hours. Well, just only took 2 hours. So we have 3 quests in Upper Denevran. It's probably a good start to check what everything goes. And we also have the Cascadian Hold quest over here. So Upper Denevran, we have Ark of Stricken Earth. We didn't fought here yet. Alright, as Perfect Harvesting. I do want some Ice Claw gear, so... Alright, 21 or 28. It's Clear Sky, Ark of... Clear Sky, a bunch of different stuff over here. Oh well, okay. Let's just go, Start from here, and looking around. I mean, we know that there are still some dialogues, but let me handle at least some quests here. Let's actually get some gameplay. Because you know how long this exploration could take. So we have a little bit better gear. A little bit better gear compared to what we had before.
Aurea thinks her father could have a statue in the Enclave just like her mother. So, I'm looking for a male Oberon that fits our timeline.
Dude, like, this is the wrong gate, by the way. Oh well. So, the Lost Thread. We can harvest also the Ark, so basically it's making 4 quests here. Wood for the trees. Consult Burning Curiosity. Examine the heroic weavers in Upper Denevran. The fastest way to go and check this Arena of Champions. Okay, I just already killed him. Dude, like they burned so easily. They didn't got like didn't have like any resources. It's kinda bad. Serenade. So don't have any use for Serenade. Carry Stone, but we killed those guys. But I didn't have any resources. Stone, well, that's not a good resource, is it? Hardwood. So look, there was like something upstairs, right? It's could be a chest, but if it's still missing like a about 9, 8 documents, 7 documents. But there was still missing like 7 documents. Result. Still a bit of loot. Like, why are you thinking you're going? Like, I hear something, but I don't see where it is. I thought I heard something, at least. Maybe I was mistaken. No, there's definitely something. Yeah, like a lore item. Maybe it's a chest? Okay, you know what? This is most likely the Veil. And there's a chest, okay, the stuff like we've heard over here could have been at the chest over here. Okay, makes sense. But there's still something over here, okay. So now's the chest? No, this is the chest. It's more resources. I don't know. I feel like there's something, but there's nothing there. Sort of called inward landing. The spire. So, infestation and inward landing in Upper Denirin and Yard of in the Bastion. Eliminate the spire's nests. Okay, Upper Denirin and inward landing. So that was that nest I saw before. I saw it somewhere over here. There we go. That's the thing we need to eliminate.
You're getting close now. Watch for the flames. You'll need to freeze the hives. They're spongy and resistant to damage unless you can make them brittle.
That's more like it. Work with the scribe.
Burning a little bit. Burning a little bit, dude. Like, why are you so jumping? There's something about it. Okay, got him. It's fine. We got a health potion out of this. Good. Should be more fire resistance. Let's see. We have okay, we have more more cold resistance here, actually, than fire resistance. Fire only just 3. So we're gonna be hunting down this arc of the Erasa Stamp in a busy way. Look at my amount of resources I can gather here. Oh, not look. Never mind, I can switch to the next tab. The codex, so Greater Force. Alright, the stuff we're looking here is the arc of the Striking Earth, right? Fancy attributes, of course, were also incredible. So, from the Strand Burning Regard, we believe that the locus of the power is centrally located over an Asher's heart could be found, insulated by the layer of capers under the chest plate. So, exposing merely a matter of peeling that massive slab of iron free. So, like the chest plate, alright, peeling the chest plate free. And we can expose it and get the strand, apparently. Okay. Let's try to harvest her. So, the infestation. The Yard of the Bastion. Okay, so we've done the infestation over here. And this, the plague is in the steps of Upper Deniverian. Okay. Steps of Upper Deniverian. The steps over there. That's what we're going next. Okay, let's summon little guy. Okay, just jump. Good. That's a lot of damage. Did I just kill my own guy? We're good. Should be good. Need to find the more potions. I should probably just drink the current potion. Spice doesn't look like the lethal. Okay, so this is gonna give me the spire, but we need the steps, so... So I'm not entirely sure I want to go to a spire. Oh, this is new monsters, let's see. The Surgeburn. The Surgeburns are covered in armor that regrow when exposed to tangles. Once this armor is broken off, they become immune to physical damage, but exceptionally weak to heat and freezing. Oh, okay. One down. Okay, he's not down. He's got all this armor out. I'm almost dead, dude. Asks fragment. Okay, we need more potions. You know, the old story short, more potions. Like, how this, like, the resource just dropped down there? Okay. This actually was a potion. Just went and drop like there. There's no way for me to get there. Still need 2 more potions. Just gonna kill my oven guy. Easy. I just bring another one. Okay, more laser. Like, so we're collecting all these resources only for it to disappear a shot after. Just a wait shot. Okay, we absolutely won this one. Alright. Hearts and around. And now looking at my potions again. Just salt. Again, Verdant Gardens. Let's just move to the gardens. Hopefully we're getting like some good stuff over here. The good stuff, I mean like some potion stuff. Okay. So it'll destroy the chest there. Full health. Heard this arch somewhere. So the thing I'm looking for. The Apodinarian plague. Somewhere over here. Ceramical braiding, okay. So I can bring this guy over here. Remove his shield. Oh my god, okay. I think the boss saw me. That's the boss. Okay. Are you dead? Oh, dude. get there somehow. I'll get my little helper.
Oria's father is unlikely to be a Casil woman. Besides, when it comes to nurturing parental figures, Ramanos's shrewd eye for politics isn't what comes to mind.
Well, there's some guy here. Remove the shield.
As impressive as Oria's lineage may be, we're 200 years off the timeline for Arden to be her father. Not to mention the lack of feathers.
So that's not any of those. Not the guys you're looking for. So one of the guys just saw me. Got him. What are you doing, girl? What are you doing? Wait, so like already out of the space? This can't be. Well, okay, so we get like extra space here, we sure do. But it's still not enough for a variety of stuff I'm collecting. Apparently. So like the cotton and the wood, we don't really care about this one. There was a quest to get that softwood, but we done with that one, so we're good. There we go. Okay, this is a place as a boss most likely, and there we go. So we need to remove his plague on the breastplate. That's what we need to do.
Remember, the spindle needs you to harvest a resonance from one of these massive arcs.
Right, we don't care about the legs thing. Oh, how dare you to shake me? Well, the breastplate. It's 1, 2, 3. Go down. We're good. Not good. Well, his problem to letting me up. Nope. I'm going up. I'm going higher today. Should have jumped there. It's fine, we're still fine, shot. We're still fine. Okay, I'm even climbing his... Right, you still can take one hit before let's go. So, okay, this one over here. One, and I can take the hit. But the problem is next one. So the kill right away. Kill. Okay, here we go. What the hell we have? Okay, there's this is scene. Looking for the breastplate access. Damn it. Stamina, jump. So you really want to get behind him, like, you know. Trying to climb him from behind. Otherwise, okay, let's heal. Kill. That's another one. That's a lot of stuff like on him. Alright, I was not expecting it's gonna take me so many potions and health. Jump. That's one. There we go. So his breastplate almost done for it. Don't climb him from upstairs. From yeah, I mean from in front. There's one. Dude. We hold in. Almost. The last point is so hard. Don't go in front of him, okay? Don't go in front of him. Nine. So what do we need? This one down here. Okay, I have one chance. There we go. And there's this go. Very good. So this is post. This big point right in front of him. Except it's gonna explode. Jump. Almost. Kill. Dude. Just climbing this guy is always that hard. Okay, let's go. Harvest. Face explode. Yeah, it took us quite a bit of potions, so basically there is a lot of climbing to do here.
Bring the Strand to Isla on our behalf.
Perhaps this will be enough to dispel her nerves.
Only one way to find out.
But that's how we do, how we kill that Arc of Strike and Earth. By removing his plates. And then get into that weak point. Took, like I say, a lot of potions here. Didn't have like much of materials out of this either. So I guess there was probably a different way to kill him to get some rare materials out of this. Because what we got is just nothing. Go and see. It's the bird guy? It's a bird guy.
This must be the statue of your mother that the spindle mentioned.
One of the greatest enchantresses of her time.
That's a lot to live up to.
Yeah, we already heard about that one. Okay, we destroying the statue. Or to try to find some potions. Luckily for me, we got 2. Investigate Eerie Plague and Steps of Upper Adeniran. Right, Upper Adeniran over there. So let's get some resources and more potions. try to... Yeah, like very surprised that the fight was so annoying. Oh my god, okay. Gonna get me that shield, will you? Let's actually burn him. Nothing good. So food serenite. It's my guy. It sounds so menacing. Tell her that. Okay, so there's a bunch of statues in the champion arena. Champion districts. Did I hear something here? Just like, sounds like it. Burned. We good? Sorry about that, a little bit of guff in here. So burn this one, I'm gonna be using ice. Tampering him enough. Refine it. Oh, you kill the guy, okay. Kill the guy. Treated laser. Sure, I'll take it. Careful not to blow up the other thing. Okay, there's some crates here. Soft wood and soft wood, we don't really care about it. Apart from the quest, I don't even know if the soft wood is even good for anything. Oh, that's a lot of stuff, and they just go in and kill in the other things. We know they're gonna be regenerating, so like trying to hit them from this area. I just got hit by something. Like this guy. Oh, okay, it's actually burning. I like it. Sulfur Beach. It's got went and exploded. Also too far away from me to effectively shoot them from here. We just drink some potion. And we can jump here and yeah. From this position. Oh, okay, hold it. It's just dealing damage to me. Dude, okay. Jump. Burning them a little bit. guys with the shields. Burning him. Very good. Ceramic braided Iranian. So those guys exploded over here. They left something. A husk fragment. There's probably chest upstairs. Those guys also exploded somewhere here. That's all. Scarred stone. More stones. Okay, let's climb it. Let's climb it. Most likely a chest. But chest also can contain some potions for me. No potions. Get out of here. Okay, there's a potion. Just need one more. Okay, so there's the steps. There's the steps. The summoned little guy. Well, the honest guy, she was hitting my own boy.
If the surge hadn't hit so hard, the steps would lead to the spire. Alas. Elected representatives would convene there, including the Eye, the Enclave's leader.
Imagine a time when Weavers had our own governing body.
Okay, they killed my little guy. Explode. Well, still got some damage out of this. Didn't need to drink all two potions. That was a mistake. That was a big mistake. There's some to notice. The Smiths Guild call of assembly to elect a new chancellor. So this is the okay, it's not exactly steps yet. Did have found the Singis here. Right. And to go around. Scout more for resources. There's something, and I just missed the only thing that did contain resources there. Okay, let's just check upstairs. Red iron. Got a chest. And apparently there is still something here. Do you think this could be like down there? Oh, totally down there. Enchanted, clear, small images shifted in the core. Shimmering prism. Okay, that's another lore item that I didn't found before, but now we have it. I'll take it. So there's some enemies on the other side over there. Did I? Definitely did. We go here and we just... Oh my god, dude. Just freeze there. Freeze it. Jump. Be careful not to blow that up. Did it. Squeeze it a little bit. Well, there was nothing good here. So we can summon my okay, yeah. My little guy can go here. So we're gonna summon him. We got the potions. Okay, we got the potions. What's happening? Oh, was my little guy exploded. That would happen. Let's go into a different area. Which has been to. Like, I have no problem with the stamina right now whatsoever. So, like, we talk about this game having a problem with stamina management way before this, right? Now, well, apart from climbing the stuff, apart from like when we getting climbing the monsters and getting shaken down from it. Like, actual stamina trouble, non-existent. Okay, let's switch to the bow and do the thing. Temper the metal. That's another piece. There's 4 pieces out of this. Very good, very good. Temper the metal again. Well, this went down. So I don't see any plate here to explore. That's a problem. Do you think it's like up there? But that will be a even more problem to get there. Okay, let's climb the stuff over here first. That's the only steps I can know. Okay, no plagues. Okay, doesn't look like I've been here yet. Yeah, let's check the rooftops for now. Almost out of stamina, but it's fine. Burn him. Those guys are burning pretty well. Oh, apparently. Oh, dude. Okay, okay. Let's we kill one of those. We got to the loom gate. Summon the little guy. We don't really have anything to do here. This is still steps, it's a spires, huh? This one is a spire. Well, there's a vitality potion. Where did the guys explode? Did he not lift anything? So already was damaged. Okay, no. Because he's still alive, he's still alive, he's still alive. We still have a chance to get him, to get the loot out of him, which we did. Say we don't need the stones. Actually, maybe we do need the stones. I don't know what we don't need. Tier 2, like sick hide. Iron hard crystals. This guy gonna explode. Finer salt. So there's the stuff over here, all together. That's what they call the actual spire. Is it loot or item? It's just normal loot. We've been to this spire all together, so we don't have anything about spire, right, Robin? So do we have a way to get to here? Okay, you want? There's definitely a way to get to this area. So we have a bunch of statues over here. Let's see. Want me to go that way? You know, obviously let's slid into the steps. Alright. So that's how it is. That's how it is, chat. You see what I'm seeing, right? We won't meet ups on that island. Okay, that will be tough. Let's see if there's any quests over here, like the statue. If there's a bird, there's like some other one.
Huh. This statue does depict an Oberon, but it's impossible to tell who it is.
Maybe there's another statue that isn't damaged.
I'll keep looking around the city.
Yeah, well, that was my lead. But apparently it's not a good one. And that's the plague that I'm looking for. Let's deal with the pests. So do we just jump over? I think it's impossible for a jump, but I rather build a bridge, yeah. Just walk normally. Okay, good. There's a place. Compiled research.
Not much of this building left, but looks
The
like
tales
it's
of
ready for
research
day.
paper till discordant
This
thinking
tome's
and mental
titled
anguish.
Disordered thinking and mental anguish. Looks thick. And inside it says, a herbalist in the market found success treating a variety of patients suffering from these kinds of afflictions. Better search the market next.
Okay, so investigate Plankman Market. Market. Oh, it's like a lower Denarian, so it's a different area altogether. We found the recipe. That was we were missing. It was sneakily hidden in this point. Frostbane laser. Okay, we do need the Frostbane laser for sure. So to trade in for hard laser. Okay, we do need to still find the statue here. So let's see. Investigation, the Yard and Bastion. Lower Denarian, the Bastion. Looks like an intact statue of Oberon. In the Lower Denarian Bastion. Okay, Burning Curiosity. Wood for trees. Okay, well, so we actually done everything we came here to do, alright? And we kill this Ark of Stricken Earth as well. So this one, we don't have anything to do else. We still have like one recipe to find, and I believe it's one? 5 out of 6. But we're getting closer, We're getting better at this. Okay, let's go back. Just back. More talking, so like 2 hours talking, 50 minutes gameplay, and more talking coming. So investigate the plague. Lower Darien, afternoon. Okay, so we have the Strands here. The Viewer Strands, but do actually need this one for a quest here. Right, for the quest of the loose strand, consult the spindle in the hold. Destroy the hives in okay, carry wood for trees. Main story. Burning Curiosity. Infestation drawn in. So let's consult with Spindle, custodian for it. Do we have anything to compile here? We do. Codex compilation. Politics and leadership. The command structure of the Enclave was first put into place under the leadership of Diane Ramaznos, a famed Kalis stateswoman. Some would argue she was the true founder of the Enclave for taking Maximilian Ander's dream and weaving it in its guiding principle into the functional state. The Enclave's core ruling body is a council comprised of leaders elected from the various official guides recognizable by the leadership. These guides are grouped into those who specialize in magical practices, enhancing alchemy and the like, by enhancing them in enchanting, alright, and those who focus on mundane pursuits such as smithing or farming. The council was designed to set a clear statement that while the Enclave was placed for weavers, it's rather those who choose to support magical innovations through a more mundane means. Representing each of those coalition are two leadership positions. The Axle and the Spindle are elected by the mundane and magical chancellors respectively, while all chancellors are what on the Enclave leadership position, which is unknown of the eye. Clearly, from our exploration of the Enclaves, that those positions were hotly contested, and remain so even after the search, which each guide jockeying for position and powers with each other both internally and on the council. It is also clear that, despite Ramanon's influence, the purely magical vocations enjoy a slightly larger amount of influence than the more mundane one. All the evidence available to us points toward this being an ongoing issue. Okay. Well, I mean, it's a magical state after all. As much as it's important to have farmers and craftsmen. Alright. It was created for mages, so I don't understand the superiority. Eh? Okay, what do we have here? Miasma. So Ice Claw, I want to kill more Ice Claws to complete the set. Right, and we have these new areas. Haven't been able to travel to. So let's see. The Spindle. The loose threads.
A resonance, freshly pulled from an ark's pattern, as requested.
By the flames! You can't be serious! This is incredible! You know, great archons weren't built with patterns. They formed. Oh, this will propel my research faster than...
What is this about?
Nothing.
Is that so? Then why is this rogue point harvesting archons for you?
Skies. He hates our Weaver band. Risen with him. The Spindle is doing important work. Stand up with her. I clearly dash an arrow. Take the blame. Risen with him.
This is just healthy collaboration between our people. What's wrong with that?
What's wrong is that you're pursuing a project that I've given my daughter expressed orders not to pursue.
Daughter?
The reason you didn't want me studying active arcs was because it was too dangerous to harvest one. But Bryn offered to do it for me. None of our people were put at risk.
The reason I didn't want you researching arcs is because I ordered you not to.
So where we can, possess you.
Not as your father, but as the leader of the Enclave. This insolence and disrespect will not be tolerated. You will drop this obsession at once, Hyla. For good.
Hey, are you...
I can't be seen speaking to you about this subject anymore. I'm sorry.
But...
I need to get back to work. Goodbye.
That didn't work very well. So I found we can okay, quest completed. I wonder if we can like fail that quest Probably not, because we just got like another quest in Ravelin. The consultants are keen about the spindle in the base camp, so the collaborating with Ayla didn't go according to the plan, as she seems less willing to speak with me than ever. I have no idea how we bring her on our side now. Maybe Arik has some insight. After all, he was the one that suggested to reach out to her about Eric's in the first place. Well, she definitely want to talk with me here.
I really
They
can't
like
discuss
me.
the Ox with you. Not here.
Don't worry. I understand. I just didn't realize that Khan Stanold is your father.
Admittedly, I wasn't the most forthcoming about that.
So, now it wasn't only a matter of time till I found out. Ask why she kept it secret.
Why hide the fact that the Eye is your father?
No. Everyone knows. That's kind of the problem. My father has been in power a long time.
Yeah, he's a dictator.
And obviously, being his daughter has come with its privileges. But I can't ignore the whispers that I haven't truly earned my role. And at times, I worry they're right.
So, when you had the opportunity to work with us on your own terms,
I took it. I'm sorry. This probably looks bad.
So seems like the Eye has a temper. I wonder if she's
are
okay.
you all right after that argument?
He's been on edge lately.
Since our band arrived.
That didn't help, but our relationship hasn't been great since I became the Spindle. At first, he was thrilled when I was elected, but you're just not seeing him at his best right now.
I'll try not to. But you didn't answer my question. Are you all right?
I'm fine.
So the arcs are her passion. Ask what he has against them.
I know we're not supposed to talk about the A word, but they're your passion. Why is your father so against you pursuing your research?
He says they're dangerous.
Right. But so are a lot of things in the Enclave.
I never knew my mother. I was born just before the retreat to Cassidon's Hold. When my research touched a nerve, he finally told me that she had died in an arc attack on the upper city. He wants me to steer clear of them, but he just doesn't see their potential. Yet.
So she mentioned he's not at his best. Wonder what his best look like.
You said he's not at his best. What does a good day look like for him?
I know it's hard to see it, but he is an amazing father. My childhood was wonderful. Growing up in Cassidon's Hold wasn't easy, but he made it fun. No matter how intense his job became, he made time for me, playing dress-up, reading to me before bed, or, as I got older, teaching me the basics of weaving and enchanting. He was my best friend and confidant. I could always tell him anything.
Do you still tell him everything, even now?
A lot has changed.
I mean, rebellious age. That's the problem for
I have to believe
for a
he's
bunch of
still
generations.
the same father I grew up with.
So no matter who his dad is, parents don't define her. Move on.
Just know that when it comes to our Weaver Band, we believe that our contributions are what defines us.
That's comforting. For what it's worth, I did enjoy working with you.
But that's in the past. I should get back to my duties.
Okay. We'd like us to do this. So we have another, the wood for trees. Another quest to.
Bryn, you brought your talented smith. To what do I owe the pleasure?
I was wondering if you might have any information on Tarmakine's smithing practices within the Enclave.
I'm not well versed in Tarmakind myself, but I recall one smith who hoped to make the techniques more widespread prior to the search. You could try searching the guild district and hide in Everon
Damn
for a
it.
registry.
Damn it. Which has been to higher than ever, and I should have go to here before yet.
Sola is actually hoping to restore the lost art herself. Anything else I could look for that might help her?
The Smithing Guild also had an extensive library. You might find a tome on Tarmakine that could be useful while you're there.
Thank you so much.
I admire your ambition. What you're hoping to achieve is no small feat.
If anyone can do it, it's Sola.
I don't know about that.
I can believe it. Good luck in your endeavors.
So do we have another dialogue that's coming up? So investigate either plague. Okay, right. So the trees. Good for the trees. Search the guild district in Upper Dinevarian. Collect the tome in Termkin Smithson. Collect the Smithson Guild registry. Guild district. Okay. I also need to talk to the guy in my camp. Yeah. So we still have the same here. Upper Dinevarian. We have a bird to fight now. Let's go back to camp. Yes, okay, we deliver the strand from Harvested Archon, but she didn't need it. What?
Hi, Sola. Everything okay?
Oh, yes. Welcome back. It's good to see you safe. Could we talk when you have a moment?
Of course.
If you want more talk, and we have more quests here. What a surprise! Talk.
Sounds like you've got yourself entangled in a family drama.
Without realizing it. Yep.
I feel for Isla. Growing up with a successful parent can be difficult, even in the best of circumstances. And I certainly had the best of circumstances with my mother. Still, it was a lot to live up to.
I'm trying to help her, however I can.
Careful. No one knows the extent of a family's affairs except those inside it. You might be stumbling into something bigger than you realize.
Well, indeed, it's a good advice, actually. Don't try to poke your nose in the family drama. So, she wants me something. Question of loyalty as another quest. Okay. Okay, so we got a recipe for a helmet here. It's bonus armor. Alright. Yeah. Like my magic regeneration. It's actually helping.
You wanted to talk?
Mm-hmm. Can you walk with me?
Why all the mystery, Milady Smith?
In a word, I'm worried.
About?
Sev. He's been acting strangely. Has been since we met the Hearthsiders at the Hold. He's going there a lot in off hours. And he honestly looks a little exhausted.
Okay, yeah. I suspect the guy is just literally doing nothing here for a band.
Dom, of course, stays up later than us and says he's often slipping away.
So it's like, you know, he's set for treason, for treachery.
Have you asked Sev what's wrong?
And if he's just gone, alright, we're not losing anyone important.
I have, and he waves it off every time.
Right. What do we do about it?
Sev has completely cut me off. But you know how I tease Lane for watching us all the time? Maybe that will pay off here. I hate this cloak and dagger stuff.
You do?
It's fine.
You seem pretty good at it.
Talk to Lane for me. I'm sure they've seen what Sev is doing, but maybe they also have a guess at why he's acting so odd.
So, like, she's clearly a girl, this Lane, but they address her, like, as they. She's not a girl. What? Is it not? I mean, maybe? I just, maybe?
Okay, let's go back before anyone gets nosy. And if Sev asks, Blood Moon cycle. Not sure if Ram blush, but he sure does.
Okay.
Got it.
She took me like quite away from all of the camp, all the people. So investigate the Era plague. Chat, more dialogues. More dialogues. Did you expect anything else? So, let's talk with him. Right about Unraveled. And there's another talk. Just normal banter.
Arik, you don't think you could have mentioned that the spindle is the Eye's daughter?
That's her business to share.
Yes, but it would have been nice to know I was helping his daughter rebel against him.
Instead of helping his unrelated colleague undermine him.
Wow. Mean. But fair.
Your intervention definitely had an impact, though. A number of enchanters immediately started pushing for more. More expeditions, more studies of the Surgeborn, you name it. That's the kind of pressure the Eye was hoping to avoid. But I think him blowing up was a misstep. If I had to guess, that Axel started the rumors.
Do you think that's what Isla wanted?
No. She just wants to keep her head down and not have people focus on the Eye-father thing. And frankly, I get it. If Khan Stanhild were my dad, I'd take it to the grave.
Okay. But if I'm walking into any more deadfalls, a heads up would be nice.
I promise. Unless it's someone's private business.
Right, so more talk. More talk.
When we first met at the harness, you were very brusque. All of you, and so on. How come?
Snap decision. I was there to warn you, and suddenly my earpiece activated. Someone was watching me on the scry.
You think it was the Eye?
I do. He'd made some comments about previous off-the-books expeditions I'd done, such as the one where I slipped your band a warning about the flood. So, I kept up the front as best I could.
Do you need to sneak around him a lot?
To get things done, I often have to cut through all the rules and limitations. For example, your help is making things happen. The Eye's planning something, but no one's telling me what. I'm not sure the Spindle or the Axle even know. I'd guess we're all going to be handed orders and expected to deliver on a moment's notice. The Eye always claims he's protecting the people by sharing on a need-to-know basis. What do you make of it?
I'm not the one for secrets. Tell him I try to be transparent, situational, but I think something should be shared, like explain to him. Well, yes, but they live in a very close-up society.
Everyone works better when we're aware
Very
of the
small
challenges
society.
ahead. I couldn't do what I do if Darm refused to tell me how my mantle works, for instance.
No limits then? Just share everything we know.
If possible, yes. Use the loss of magic as an example.
Ideally. If more Weavers had shared what they knew before the Surge, we wouldn't have been set back by decades.
And some of you might have been able to make it past the veil sooner if you'd had any idea how it worked. You've given me a lot to think about. I should get back to looking over these reports, though.
Right, so Unraveled. About this
Sounds like your work with
spindle.
Isla was a smash success.
Not exactly. She seems less willing to talk to us than ever.
Yeah, I wouldn't be so sure of that. She sent me here with a secret message, after all.
She did? What about?
Isla wants you to go to the Archon's hearth. It needs to be at night, though. She'll sneak away from Cassidon's hold to guide you on the scry here.
Okay, Archon's heart.
She wants you to collect Archon parts that may be hard to spot without her help.
Okay. Haven't been to the Archon Hearts, ask what it is.
I
We
don't
didn't
think I've been
there.
to the Archon's
Yeah.
hearth yet. Where is it exactly?
You've been pretty close to it.
I have?
Wow. You've forgotten our introduction so fast.
I take it that's where the cavern near the harness leads.
Correct.
So what is it exactly?
The Archon's hearth is where all arcs were created. We lost control of it almost immediately after the Surgeborn appeared. Not that we had much use for it. The Surge hit it hard, and most of the Weavers who knew how to build arcs died as a result. But all the materials to build arcs are still there. Hence, the Spindle wants you to go.
Okay, sounds to Isla is sending more of a scavenger's hunt. Ask what she's looking for.
What parts does Isla want me to collect?
There'll be 3 what's-its, 4 who's-its, and maybe a thingy or 2?
For a guy delivering secret messages, you're not really a detailed note-taker, are you?
I glazed over when she started listing the parts, and, well, We decided her sneaking out to guide you on your scry was the best course of action. Besides, even if we knew what the parts were called, there's a lot of junk down in the Archon's Hearth. It wouldn't be easy to spot on your own.
Okay, the Eye was furious. Wonder if Isla could get in a lot of trouble for this.
The Eye, well, her father, was livid when I brought her the resonance. Couldn't Isla get in trouble for sneaking out?
I know. Oh, she's never been cooler. But yes, she could absolutely get in trouble for this. We should make it a quick trip.
Got it.
Okay, sounds like I better get to work. Thanks, Arakim, for the message.
I appreciate you being the middleman, Eric. Sounds like I'd better get to the Archon's Hearth.
Enjoy the trip. I hear it's toasty when you get deeper in. It is basically a giant forge for arcs, after all.
So we're done with this quest. And well, I guess we can use this kinetic power strand. Alright. She's not using that much, but apparently you can propel yourself with it if you're good at it. So Clockwork Dagger, question of loyalty.
We need to talk about Sev.
Wait, you know why I'm here?
I'm a keen observer, and you have no Pangel face. Also, Solar has many strengths, but subtlety is not one of them. Sev, however, is somewhat more adept at hiding things. He's been moving back and forth between here and the hold quite regularly. Let me ask you something. Did you notice anything odd when you were at the hold?
There was a moment when Sev approached the Eye to speak alone.
Ah. That confirms my suspicion, then. Have you noticed that Sev and the Eye wear a similar symbol?
I had not.
The symbol looks to be a stylized... well, I'm not sure, but I think it's something akin to a water wheel. I don't recognize it myself, but given the Eye is wearing it, the Enclave might have some record of that particular symbol.
The archives in the Spire might have something.
We've already been there,
I'd
damn
rather
it.
just ask Sev.
Given his secrecy about this whole affair, I can't imagine he will be forthcoming.
Good point. And yet, either way, time for a little investigation. Hey, big guy. Everything okay?
Yes, mostly. I was wondering if you had a moment sometime. I might need your help.
Okay. He seems nervous to reassure him. He's feeling awkward, later in the mood. Whatever his needs, I'm sure I can help. Tell him so. Yeah, I reassure him.
You know you can count on me, Sev. I'll come see you when I have a moment.
Thank you, Bryn. I'll be at my usual place.
Well, okay, when you talk with her. So, talk with the guy. Alright, the drone in, investigate your plague market lower there. Spirit net, okay, lower denarium, yard in Bastion, look for statue in lower. Search guild district. That's what I need. Woods for trees, companions, and the need of assistance. Alright, consult with Sam to see what it help. Search information Spire in Upper Denarian. So we have more of the class coming. And here I saw they have we got 70% of the game done. There is so much yet to do.
I guess it makes sense that our
Some
history
more.
books are a little out of date, but...
So talk.
You know, I've been curious about something.
Oh, I know this one. A soft cloth and some ergon seed oil.
I'm sorry, what?
You... weren't asking about tusk care?
Why?
Everyone eventually asks.
Spirits, no. But that's intriguing. I was wondering about that symbol you wear. With the wheel?
Oh, that's just a family heirloom. Of sorts. Thought it looked nice, is all.
Just thought it looked nice.
I'm so sorry, Bryn. Just remembered, I have to move some things for Aurea. Maybe another time.
Okay, so need of assistance.
You said you needed some help, Sev? What's up?
Have I ever told you how I envy your clarity, Bryn?
How so?
Maybe I'm just romanticizing it, but you seem like someone who's always known what you wanted to do. To be.
I was born in the tail years of a liberation war, Sev. It never made sense to me that I couldn't be anything I wanted. So I just decided.
I wish making decisions came so simply to me. Perhaps you can give me pointers when the time comes. Anyway, I've been working on a side project to help the Hearthsiders, and I'm having trouble sourcing some rarer components.
Okay, so, I'm reluctant about this, but can do it for him, tell him so. Starting a relationship became hard. I agreed to help the survivors by proxy. I'm curious about this project. Dig it for details.
What are you working on?
I can't say much. But I can tell you it's a project authorized by the Eye himself.
That revelation would carry more weight if he weren't an ass.
I know he can be abrasive, but he's got a plan. Says he's been working on it for years.
Do the Axel or Spindle know about this plan?
I'm honestly not sure. I don't think they have details, no.
But you do?
He's sworn me to secrecy. But I promise you, Bryn, it's nothing against us.
You're sure?
I know I come off as a pushover. But I know when to hold my ground. And would never harm this group, Bryn, I swear on my tusks.
That's like, it seems odd that Hearthsiders need our help. Ask why they can't supply him.
If the Hearthsiders are asking for your help, can't they provide what you need?
The survivors are strapped. Their supplies have been dwindling for years now. I'm sure before the surge they would have had rare materials in reserve. But those days are over. So I have to ask for your help.
Okay, so I'm reluctant about this, but I can do it for him. Tell him so.
I'm game, but I want you to know I have reservations. The Eye hasn't exactly been helpful to us.
I completely understand. I'm probably crossing some lines, but I'm glad you're hearing me out. I've put together a schematic and I'll leave it with Solar. The majority of the asks are reasonably mundane. It's just...
Oh no.
Well, I need some particular secretions from a glass tail.
Okay, glass tail. Okay,
Why does it
gotcha.
never onions? You know, small, green, distinct lack of talons. Never flash freeze you into an icy prison, though I suppose both can make you cry. I'm kidding, Sev. I'll see what I can do.
Okay, so kill glass tail reinforced conduit. There's lost dialogue here, hopefully. Talk.
Did you learn anything?
When I asked Sev about the wheel symbol, no. He was pretty evasive.
Being evasive is, in and of itself, rather telling. Means we're onto something of note.
How did you know I asked, anyway?
I watch people closely. A habit so deeply ingrained you could call it a groove at this point.
Okay, it's not much, but it's like about the story itself. So what we have for this companion in need of assistance, gather a set of 5 of any forged materials and kill a brain in glass for its secretion, and then craft a star design. A set of 5 of any forged material. Set of 5 of any forged material. Okay, forged material. I got it, chat. Well, anyway, it's been slightly past midnight here. 20 minutes past midnight. So what we have today is that we have a whole bunch of reading sessions. Alright. Well, reading more or less like talking, voice acted. A lot of lore, but tomorrow will be more of the gameplay. And the thing that I was thinking will be like 70% of the game, it's might be not relevant because we just got to another Actually, we jumped to Act 4 right away, so we just skipped Act 3. There was like very little of Act 3, and we just jump. It was all the stock to Act 4. Act 2 took me like several days to complete. But Act 3 just went, I didn't even notice it went by. Okay, well, that's fine. So tomorrow will be more action, more killing. We did kill today the arc of Striking Earth or something, I believe. And will be more, there's 3 more new bosses, right? 2 more areas to explore at least. So looking forward to that. Still enjoying the game, still enjoying the world building, how the story develops, and the gameplay overall. Take care of yourself, guys. Stay safe whatever you're doing. Have fun with it, and see you tomorrow. Cheers.